Okay. Here is Ari Melber, certainly no friend of Trump of MSNBC, who was also in the courtroom. What did he think? Now, you got to understand, Morning Joe not giving it up, Dan. I didn't watch all of it. I couldn't take it. But then I saw Grabian had it, the time clock.
Yeah.
8 minutes of trying to say, yes, Cohen did this. Yes, it was devastating. But that doesn't really matter in the end. The jurors are going to see past this.
They won't let go.
What are they seeing past this for? Couldn't he at least say, couldn't he save some dignity, which is non-existent, and say, yeah, Trump won't be acquitted, but there's going to be a mistrial here. Some of these people hate Trump. They're there. They can't live with themselves. They can't go home unless they find guilty on at least one count out of the 34. But there's no way that the jury in toto is going to find Trump guilty of anything. There's going to be a mistrial here. All right, so here is Ari Melber, MSNBC, saying, I saw this too. It's bad.
I think the punches are building cumulatively. I think Tuesday there were bruises, and today there's blood, to extend the metaphor. They're not done, and this is a back and forth process. I was listening to your reporting, following along like everyone. I'm going back in the courtroom next. I was just speaking to our colleague Lawrence O'Donnell, who spoke to MSNBC today as well. I think the collective view is these are moments the jury will remember, and they are instilling or adding possible doubts about Michael Cohen's long-term credibility. As I think everyone knows by now who's followed the trial, the question isn't, has he changed his mind and retracted things? Both sides agree on that. That's not in doubt. The question is, does this guy still lie? And if he does still lie about anything, little, medium, or large, can you trust him? And the standard is not, okay, do we have to be convinced that he lies about everything? The standard for the jury, and why Blanche is making some progress, is by the end of this, does the jury have reasonable doubt about Cohen telling the truth on elements of the crime? The other stuff won't ultimately matter when they deliberate. It just accrues. But what we saw in that kind of dramatic back and forth that it's been described today, well, but you did lie, and have you lied, and why do you sound like this, and a podcast where you might sound allegedly unhinged, all of that accrues to whether jurors go back and say, I doubt whether he's telling the truth about an element of the crime. For example, Trump's criminal intent back in 2016. So I think they are landing blows, Andrea.
Very savvy. So, they're going to grab on to some of these jurors. They got they got a stake in the big game. The 3 or 4 jurors are going to say no way to this. And that's the second thing that I would go through. First, you're being played. How does it feel? New Yorkers don't like that. It's Alvin Bragg. He did it. Look at the guy he put up there. You guys know what a liar is. Look at this guy, and they have some detail on that. But the second thing that Melber just said there, elements of the crime. This is an element of the crime, Trump's knowledge and Trump's motivation. Have they proven that? Michael Cohen is the only thing they have that really links it toward that. Are you buying that as a New Yorker after this? So again, I would bet anything there's not going to be an acquittal. They can't. I mean, again, there's under such pressure. But I would also bet now, after this yesterday, it's not just going to be one person. It's going to be 2, 3, or 4. And that's all that you need. They'll be able to hold out after a day or two. So no arguments today. It's Barron Trump's graduation. Monday, closing arguments. There's always something they throw in there at the end, et cetera. Could I see it going past? I think it goes past Tuesday. Then Wednesday, they're off. Then Thursday, Dan, suppose the jury gets it on Thursday. You know what the pressure is. They're human too. Do they want a long siege, or they want to go home for Memorial Day? I think they want to go home for Memorial Day.
Yeah.
Now, if it's one person holding out, they might say, we're going to have to stand here. It's 12 angry men. Little tease of the side question coming up. But if it's 2, 3, or 4, if you reach 4 people saying, no, didn't prove the elements of the crime, they're playing us, this is ridiculous, it's an embarrassment. If they start, that's what I would say. It's an embarrassment to New York and New Yorkers if you continue to do this. Then I think the other side, after, the right amount of time, like maybe on Friday, I could see it. I could see a news dump on Friday. I could see Marchand getting nervous on Thursday, watering down the charge to say, what about this, essentially? Can't you give them something? Just give me something here. And we're at Farley on Friday. if Trump gets a mistrial, you should stop by and celebrate. I don't know if we could do it at Farley if that happens, but we'll be there broadcasting from there as
Party the rest up.
Well, it's only about, as Scotty Scheffler drives, it's only about 20 minutes to Mulligan's.
Too soon there.
Yeah, I'll get to Scotty Scheffler here in a moment.
Good call there yesterday, condemning the guy even before this happened.
I didn't condemn him. I just
You
said,
just said you didn't like him.
yeah, he's tepid. There's something about him that.
So much for being tepid.
Yeah, well, I don't know that I'm not sure how much he did. We'll get into that in full detail. But we do have a turn of events here with the guy that I've interviewed 7 times, Justice Samuel Alito. And Shannon Bream got information out of him, Dan. I wonder if I sent him an email, because I got an email from another famous person yesterday about something said on the show.
Hilarious.
Yeah, would Sam Alito respond? He told Shannon Bream, and maybe not everybody has heard this, Alito's being accused, I think he admitted it, of having the U.S. flag upside down at his house for a period of time during the scrum after the 2020 election. It was in 2021. He said his wife did it. Somebody had an anti-Trump sign. They saw us walking. A guy accosted his wife and called her even the C word. Oh, man. You know how I feel about that. Yeah. That's grounds. If I'm on a jury, and then, Your Honor, I knocked them out. Thank you. Have a nice day. You call the wife the C word, right? That's it. The gloves are beyond off here. So I guess his wife is a little bit, he's in a very public position. Now, the flag upside down is a sign of distress. They're claiming that the Alitos did this because they're part of the Stop the Steal movement, that the election was stolen. Now, I could see Alito saying what I've said on this. You got to be kidding me with this Pennsylvania Supreme Court and any number of other rulings out there. You have to be kidding us that this is a fair election. But I don't see him saying any wild stuff. So now here's Richard Blumenthal. Dan, do you know what his nickname is? You haven't been here you do?
Something with Dick, right?
Yeah, Dan Yang Dick.
Yes.
Due to the fact he claimed to be in combat in Vietnam. I don't know if he was ever in country. I forget a little bit about that. He might have been in the service. He might have, he might have ordered something at a Vietnamese restaurant sometime, but he certainly wasn't in combat there. That's why he's called that.
Likes his banh mi.
Yeah, he's on Morning Joe today. Boy, busy Morning Joe day. Here is what Blumenthal said. Now, you pulled both of them.
Instead of Da Nang Dick, how about Banh Mi Blumenthal? Give him a new nickname.
Not bad.
Yeah.
I think 5B is better. Let's play 5B. Here's what he said.
5B or 9B?
I'm sorry, 9B, yes.
Yeah, okay.
Shocking, substantive out. Not a symbolic thing. I mean, I'm not downplaying the hanging of the flag upside down. That's the leading indicator. That's what's reflective of is this total casting aside of any attempt or pretense of being nonpartisan. It is just we are doing what our, in this case, conservative ideology tells us to do, and we're working for Donald Trump.
Yeah. And it's really a moment of reckoning for the Chief Justice because it is an unaccountable institution appointed for life, but the Chief Justice has an opportunity. He has an obligation to take action. Congress has an obligation to take action. There are remedies like a code of conduct and inspector general that can be imposed here, but it is really up to the Chief Justice most immediately to act.
What kind of action are they going to be taking to Sammy Alito here? Arguably the most brilliant Supreme Court justice. You know how I feel about that. Thank God we got him on there. The architect of the Dobbs decision. Why now? Are they trying to set this up for election interference? He can't rule on it. You're not going to knock Sammy Alito out of there. Dan, I've told you many times, he wants to do 2 things in 7 conversations with him. 1, assiduously be ready for the Supreme Court. 2, watch the Phillies and sometimes rule that the umpires were out of line. He overrules them. So you're not going to knock him off the track here. Okay. Okay. We're going to update you for a moment, take more calls on the North Penn School District. They had another, man, how many meetings do they have there? school board meeting or a safety meeting. They're calling them both, I guess, last night. And Stephanie Pawlowczak, the parent who led the protest here, one of the parents who led the protest, going to give us a brief update. But you can start to line up with your calls, 855-839-1210. What do you think of that as the closing argument? Want to get into a lot. We started it yesterday, writing my column on it this week on the NFL kicker. It's not so much about the kicker. It's not even so much to me, Dan, about all these people attacking him. You know what it's about? It's about the NFL. 855-839-1210. That's how you get it.
How can you provide a safe space to have conversations about mental health? Join us this weekend for Being There for Your Community, part of the I'm Listening Talk Away the Dark limited series with Odyssey and the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention. Simply being there to listen can have positive, lasting effects. For the full show and more stories like this, download the I'm Listening Talk Away the Dark podcast on the Odyssey app or visit imlistening.org.
Listen Sunday morning at 6 on Talk Radio 1210 WPHT.
Cozy Jewelers is the place to go to for exquisite engagement rings. Thinking about popping the question this summer? Whether you buy something off the shelf or go for a custom engagement ring, Cozy is there for you and will make sure you get the perfect ring thanks to Cozy's 5 C's. Color, cut, clarity, carat, and the Cozy touch. This summer, begin a lifetime of happiness with a ring from Cozy. Go to Cozy Jewelers in Newtown Square or shop online at cozyjewelers.com. That's cozyjewelers.com. And step up to the 5th C, COZZI.
For over a decade, NJ Diet has helped thousands of people lose a contractually guaranteed 20 to 40 plus pounds in only 40 days. That's nearly twice as fast as weight loss injections and without any of those nasty side effects. NJ Diet uses your hair and saliva along with scans to personalize natural solutions and supplements to get you to shed that fat quickly. Then, NJ Diet uses your DNA info to help you keep the weight off. Call 855-5NJ-DIET or go to njdiet.com. Get slimmer before the summer with njdiet.com.
Dawn Stensland here. Spring is upon us, and there is no time like the present to get back out on the roads. And my friends at Piazza Premium Automobiles are going to help you find that luxury vehicle you've been eyeing. Piazza has thousands of new and certified pre-owned vehicles available right now from brands such as Mercedes-Benz, Land Rover, Jaguar, Maserati, BMW, Porsche, and more. Just visit them at piazzapremiumautomobiles.com, or you can stop by one of their Pennsylvania, Delaware, or New Jersey dealers. Tell them Dawn sent you.
Hey, Clementon. Yeah! We know your favorite station is Talk Radio 1210 WPHT.
All right, we have a great side question coming up first. We're so happy to bring you, and she's making every effort, given work and everything else, to join us. Stephanie Pawlowczak is one of the parents who led that protest, it seems like an eon ago, in North Penn School District, where we have the one kid hitting the other kid over, had a guard there with them and all that. They had another meeting last night. I guess this is the school board. It's a little bit hard to tell. Let's go to Stephanie and find out what happened. Hey, Stephanie, was this a school board meeting or what was it last night?
Yep, it was. Hey, Dom, how are you? Yes, it was. It was another school board meeting for, to hold proposals and all that stuff. But us parents just keep showing up. We're not going to stop. Last night they took public comment and a lot of people got up and spoke. There happened to be another incident this week in the North Penn middle schools where a child was threatened by another child to kill him. Some boy threatened another boy and said, "I'm going to kill you." Well, the boy went and reported it to the principal, and actually this time the principal actually did something. It wasn't at the same school. It was at a different middle school, but within North Penn. But this principal actually, took the child serious and actually did something and searched the student and searched the locker. And upon searching the locker, they found paraphernalia, vapes, and a machete.
Well, wait a minute. Is that out there in the news, Stephanie? How do we know that? Did they admit to that in the school board meeting last night?
There was a letter sent out to the parents via email, and the child spoke last night. If you go back and you play it on YouTube, North Penn Now, the live board meeting from last night, the mother of this child spoke out, and the child himself spoke out how he's terrified to return to school. This just goes to show you why we are fighting so hard, and we're not going to give up, because the violence within North Penn right now is just out of control, and they're not doing anything to keep our kids safe.
Well,
We have uncovered so much.
Yeah, let me say the other side, though. I mean, a machete there, without a doubt. So, specifically, do the parents know what you want them to do? Is there a specific proposal, or is it?
Yeah, we want people to step down. We want
yeah, okay.
board members to step down.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, I hear you. Well, I have not seen that in the news media. Is media reporting that, Stephanie? I mean, I'm not.
The local media has been reporting. Last night was the first time they didn't come out.
Okay.
To report it, but they've been at every board meeting and formats they held, and they've been interviewing us parents. We're in talks with tons of the media outlets. I've done interviews with the Delaware Valley Journal. I did one again this week. Spoke to Inside Edition. We're just trying to get the word out, and we're going to take it further if we have to.
Okay. Somehow or another, Dan has that audio, Stephanie. So for listeners, just hold up a second. Let's hear what was said.
The district-wide email that went out, that was in regards to my son. I'm going to start this off by saying that my son was threatened to have been killed by another student that attends Penfield Middle School, which resulted in the police being brought to the school, which then led to the locker being searched into then the police finding a knife. And the police officer had described it to me as big and daunting, along with paraphernalia. I keep thinking to myself that these last few days had, Tyler and the principal not responded quick, that the circumstances here would be very different. And I'm thankful that my son acted and Dr. O'Sullivan quickly. My son might not have been here today, or another student who could have gotten in the way to help Tyler. They could have been really hurt.
Wow. And what's the school board response? So they just let you talk and then move
nothing.
on?
Yeah, they said nothing. They didn't even acknowledge that child who was courageous enough to get up and speak. They didn't even say not a word to him. They couldn't even look at him.
Yeah, that's the first thing you ought to do.
They couldn't even look at him.
As a policy, it's nothing against them to say, we commend this. We may differ on some things, but we want the kid to come forward. If there's something serious with this, then we'll handle that. That's the right way to say it. They should have said that at the school board. So here's a little bit of the child here. Dan has this, Stephanie, talking last night.
Saying I was talking bad about him, and I wasn't. And he threatened to harm me. So I gave him a weekend to change his mind. On Monday, he came to me, and he told me he was going to kill me. So after that, I went to the office, and I talked to Dr. O'Sullivan. Thank goodness he acted as fast as he did, or else who knows what would have happened. But I told him, and it took about 10 minutes for him to start getting everything into play. He called the kid down immediately. I got a pass to leave every class 5 minutes early. After that, I was picked up by my mom, Lauren, and after that, we found out that he brought a machete into school.
There's something about the machete, Dan. I don't know about you, too.
How are they getting these things in school?
Well, right. Where are you getting machetes? Do we know where this kid got a machete to bring to school?
I think you can get them at Home Depot for gardening work. I'm serious. I think they do have.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah, it is. How did he get it into school? Yeah,
they
need quite an up and down look at what they're doing there. They
don't need
really
a third-party investigation to investigate this incident. They need a third-party investigation to look at their goddamn policies.
All right. So,
they have in place.
Yeah, absolutely. Stephanie, what's the next event or next meeting? Do you know?
I believe the next meeting might be next Tuesday. I'm not quite sure, but as me and a lot of parents told them, we are going to keep showing up at every meeting, and we're going to be in their face. And if they think because summer's coming that this is just going to die down and go away, they have another thing coming, because we're not going anywhere until people step down and people are held accountable. I don't understand why it needs a third-party investigation for the superintendent to hold the principal of Pembroke held accountable. Just the way the principal at Penfield acted swiftly and handled the matter, that's how the incident should have been handled back in April when the child was attacked with the Stanley Cup.
Well, Stephanie, thank you. And I know work commitment and all that. Anytime, just let Dan know if you want to give us an
Thanks
update
for
on something.
having us.
We are always glad to have you. Thank you, Stephanie,
Thank you. Have a nice
very
day.
much. Dan, we might want to feature this in Reading, Writing, and Reason this week. I know it's short, but you're not going. I'm just giving you a note after. This is pretty powerful stuff. How in the world do you have one incident where the principal did not act? Remember the cleaning up of the blood, the whole thing, and all with the kid. Then you have that. Well, now he has hindsight, given what the other guy didn't do. This guy acted because Dan, if I was in, when I was still teaching, you get all kinds of stuff, but that was years ago. In today's environment, you have to err on the side of this, as crazy as it is. You have to run every one of these down. Yeah, you do. Here, a machete in the locker.
Well, it's the elephant in the room.
Yeah.
It's political. It's,
Yeah.
One student allegedly trans, the other, I think, just.
That's where I was going back to. What is there's only one difference that we can see. Well, there are several differences, but the main one we believe is what? One student's trans, apparently. And in this case, nobody was trans. It was a kid, the threat, alleged to kill, machete. The other kid had somebody watching him the whole time. Why are you allowed to go to lunch if we have to watch you then? How do you get a Stanley? Every time I hear that girl say that, smash the other over the head. And again, is North Penn different than other school districts? I mean, for a suburban school district with resources, I thought it had a pretty decent reputation over the years. What the heck is happening here? All right, phone lines are 855-839-1210. Let me give you this side question, and we'll take some more calls. Side question today. Today is the finale of 90210. All right, it's the last episode. I don't know. I watched it for a while, Dan. It was fairly breakout, just the Beverly Hills thing. And the first one that I remember that put a zip code in there. That's what got people going with it.
Did you have some kind of association with Luke Perry?
Yeah, I'm glad you answered that. This must have been, as far as we can tell, at the height of it. I was on WWDB. They had me go down to the ballpark. We were the Phillies station. Well, we were connected with the Phillies. And when I go there, I'm on the pitcher's mound. They didn't let me pitch. I would have wowed him in batting practice. But Luke Perry was pitching batting practice.
Behind the net, right?
Yeah, behind the thing. Well, I'll explain about that. And I was there just flipping balls to him and live on the air talking about it. Then Gary Sheffield came up. If you've never seen him, look it up. Doing this Twitch thing that he does.
Yes.
And hitting the sound of the bat was a lot worse than any other hitter. I heard.
So is Perry just like giving him lobs and he was firing them out of the park?
Yeah. Now, thank God he hooks everything. He's a right-hand hitter. The odds of him hitting it back through the middle. But, you got a screen there, but you got to duck after you pitch. I mean, I don't know if Sheffield hit it at that speed, he might knock down the screen. It was frightening, to put it mild. Luke Perry was a nice guy.
Why was Gary Sheffield doing an event for the Phillies?
Batting practice.
Oh, okay.
It was batting practice.
Like before, was he with the Marlins?
He was with the I think he was with the Marlins at that point. Yeah. So that's and Luke Perry was. I don't know if it was at the very peak of fame, but it was pretty close.
Was there a lot of crossover between Dom Giordano fans and 90210 watchers?
No, it was Luke Perry.
He was that big.
I mean,
he was such a crossover star that
it was a phenomenon. Yeah, and it was. It wasn't talk radio wasn't as political then that we had to do and anything that happened that was big. I mean, remember I covered Metallica.
Yeah, that's right.
Metallica is more of a stretch than Luke Perry. All right, so give us.
Rest in peace, Luke Perry.
Yes.
Hey, just real quick, his son is actually a wrestler for AEW now. If anyone's a fan of wrestling, go check it out.
So here's what we want. We want a TV show, film, or song. We're broadening it out. And you got to make your case. You just can't call in and say the title. You got to tell us something with it. Something that has a number or several numbers in the title. For example, 12 Angry Men. If you've never seen the film, Henry Fonda, it's a great jury film. Or can't do better than this, the 10 Commandments. You see the 10 Commandments there.
Oh, that's a great one.
Yeah, but the 10 is not the 10. The 10 is spelled out because it's at the beginning of the word, T-E-N. Might be more effective with the giant 10. I'm not sure. All right. How about yours, Dan?
I'll take off. Behind us right now, you hear the great song by Chicago, a band that you and I both love, 25 or 6 to 4, the song about nothing besides looking at a clock and reading that it's 25 or 6 minutes to 4 o'clock. And I'll take off a Philadelphia film. How about that? 12 Monkeys with Brad Pitt, Bruce Willis.
I hate that film, and it's because of me, because I've never taken the time to sit there and figure it out. So I mock it. It requires work to do it.
It's like me. I do the same thing with Inception. I hate that film. It's just because I don't understand it.
Exactly. By the way, what is the statute of limitations where a person can't say, spoiler work, I was going to see that someday? I'm thinking about that because of the Sixth Sense. If by now we can't say what happens at the end of the Sixth Sense.
That's another one too, Sixth Sense.
If you can't say that by now, when are you allowed to say it? It's an annoying thing. You can never give a spoiler.
Yeah. I
feel
like it's one of those that's been spoiled so many times that.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah. 51st Dates I'm going to take off as well.
Okay. Is this from
Kirk? Yeah.
One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest.
That's a great one.
That's a great one. Yep. 855-839-1210. You get in with that. All right. So we got the North Penn story cooking here. Let me go to Shannon, who was also there last night at the board meeting. Hey, Shannon, welcome in. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks, Tom. Thanks for having me. So, yes, I was at the school board meeting last night. I actually spoke last night, and I heard Stephanie speaking about the machete that was brought to Penn Field. That's actually the school my daughter goes to. About that incident, I mean, the kid that brought the machete must have mental health issues, has been suspended multiple times, was in my daughter's class and taken out of class and suspended for 3 days, which seems to be what North Penn's doing. They suspend you for 3 days, they bring you back in. And then I also wrote an email to the school board this morning because nothing proactive and immediately has been done to make sure this stuff is not happening in our schools. I'm actually one of the members of North Penn United. We've been posting and addressing issues, and we've now been getting emails and phone calls and texts from parents all over the district about other things that are happening. Teachers being threatened with scissors at elementary schools. We've been getting poured in information that's been happening at other schools as well. And at this point, the board has to do something to stop the violent behavior, whether it's a police force, more security added immediately, something has to be done, and nothing's been done.
Well, I hear you. Well, look, let's say kudos to the principal who acted here, even though that's doing your job, I realize. But given what's going on there, this third-party investigator dragging it out through the summer, that's not the action at all. I mean, I've seen a lot of things. I taught in Camden and Darby Township, and I've seen wild stuff. But a machete, I don't remember any machetes.
Right. And the student that spoke up and his parents, like Stephanie said, I mean, if this kid would have taken the machete out of his locker during the class periods being changed and kids all through the hallway, this could have been another tragic event. The student that spoke up and came to the principal should have been commended for his actions. No one looks at you. No one says, thank you for standing up, for the rest of your
Shannon,
school and doing the right thing.
Let me underline what you're saying there too. It's one of my biggest picks with these school boards. They think they can evade trouble by sitting there like zombies. A lot of them do this. They give you your 2 minutes and nobody acknowledges anything. This was an opportunity to say, we want this to go out over this meeting, YouTube and whatever, that you did exactly the right thing. We want kids to come forward in this. Everybody agrees with that. If you try to just avoid anything, all you're going to get is criticism that's justified.
Exactly. And that's why I emailed them this morning. And I called on the very newest member of the school board to set an example for the rest of them and start speaking up when people are coming to public comment. The board does not prioritize the student discipline, the mental health, the violence. I mean, really, they keep talking about renovations, technology projects, and to be honest, it's things that will secure $1 million contracts for their political donors. No one talks about the real issues that are in the schools happening every single day.
Stephanie, please let us know anything you see, any updates. We'd be happy to share. And thank you, Shannon. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right. Dan, this machete thing is, what would it take? Well, that's violative of our policy. Remember, this started during COVID. Remember, it started when people had it with these school boards, when school board elections and all that. So they look at the clock. You have 2 minutes. You could say anything. Next, 2 minutes. It's like a deli counter. Yeah, you didn't give me enough Swiss cheese, Next. Couldn't they say to the kids, yes, you did exactly the right thing? Well, then we got to say it to everybody. Well, then maybe it's not a good idea. All right, 855-839-1210. We can get you in on that. Get in on the side question. And coming up, we got two sports stories. Scotty Scheffler, golfer, #1 in the world, and the field goal kicker on the Kansas City Chiefs. Dan, have you ever seen the Kansas City Chiefs ownership?
The Hunts?
Yeah, don't like them even a little. You talk about dilettantes. They're sickening, right? But they're backing the kicker on this, and I think Andy Reid is too. And there's a lot more now. We got the Missouri Attorney General involved in this. But to me, you got to face facts. All this and the NFL. The NFL can do whatever they want. We worship down to the NFL. Now, Dan, it's easier for me. My judgment, your #1 sport is football, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So I can't be holier than thou because basketball is clearly my #1 sport.
The ones that had Black Lives Matter plastered on the court.
Right. Yeah. Well, okay. But basketball, let's face it, does not influence our lives in the manner that the NFL
No,
does.
you're 100% right.
Yes. And it is just out of control. They should have made no comment on this guy. If you don't want to comment on wife beaters, domestic violence, thugs, borderline thugs across the league, then don't comment on a field goal kicker who's never done anything wrong. And even if you differ with him, so what? He's not doing it with the Kansas City Chiefs. Man, if this guy misses his first field goal this year, oh, God, here we go. 855-839-1210. You get on board. All right. Hit us on the side question, too. Hey, don't miss out on the memorial sale at Rescue Natural Supplements going on now with prices rising across the country. Rescue is rolling back pricing to the year 2010. Plus, enjoy their fantastic 2 bottles, get 1 free, and buy 3 bottles, get 2 free memorial deals. Stock up on your favorites, save big with Rescue rollback pricing and generous free bottles of offers. Whether you're in need of 1250 omega-3s, cholesterol supporters, probiotics, or natural pain relief, everything is on sale. To order, call 800-26-ALIVE, 800-262-5483. Speak to a Rescue product consultant or shop online at res-q.com, res-q.com. Don't miss the opportunity for huge savings on over 50 Rescue products to tackle your health goals. Remember, 2010 rollback prices and the memorial deals are going on now through May 30th. So go shop res-q.com, res-q.com.
Weather sponsored by Morgan & Morgan.
It is a dry finish to the work week, but conditions remain partly to mostly cloudy. It will be mild with a high of around 72. Tonight, the clouds continue with a low of around 58. And for Saturday, cloudy skies with a few showers around. It will be cooler with a high 66.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. Last year, more clients hired Morgan & Morgan than ever before. We now have more offices, more staff, and more lawyers than any other injury firm in the world, protecting America, fighting for you.
Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
As veterans, we're no strangers to helping others.
It's what we were taught, trained, and told to do.
It could be for anything. Helping a friend move.
Listening to a fellow veteran for hours, at any hour of the day.
Or just simply making time for people. A neighbor, a loved one, or even a stranger.
We're often the first to help others. There's no question about it.
But we do have one question for the veterans listening.
When was the last time you reached out for help?
Perhaps it's time to do for yourself what you would do for others.
If you or someone you know needs resources, whether it's for stress, finances, employment, or mental health, don't wait. Reach out.
Find more information at va.gov/reach. That's va.gov/reach.
Brought to you by the United States Department of Veterans Affairs and the Ad Council.
Tom Herr, and this is Susan Herr, Norvon, Pennsylvania.
Being with Crash Proof is like being in a big family. We know there's a lot of other people out there just like us, and everyone's very happy.
Yeah, they're not sad.
They're not sad. I mean, we come in and we know our money's safe and it's continuing to grow.
The crash-proof system is fighting inflation for us. When prices do go up, we still have income coming in. And with the crash-proof system, we made just under 7%. Even though we're using money, we're still making more money. And at the end, we have more money than we started with.
We have those resources to make our life and retirement much more comfortable.
And we can sleep at night.
Yes, definitely.
Only Crash-Proof Retirement can guarantee peace of mind in a legally binding, recorded financial meeting. Schedule an appointment or register for the next Crash-Proof Retirement educational event at the William Penn Inn on Tuesday, June 11th. 800-722-9728 or crashproofretirement.com.
Are you tired of dealing with those old, inefficient windows in your house? Well, maybe it's time to go Guida. How about that drafty, beat-up-looking entry door you've painted over more times than you can count? Well, go Guida. Need added protection from the elements with a new storm door? Go Guida. And what about that sliding patio door or garage door you've been meaning to replace? Go Guida. Whatever your home improvement needs are, I suggest you go Guida with the great people at Guida Door and Window. To help you get your project started, Guida is offering 20% off all windows and doors while allowing you to start your project with no money down and up to 3 full years to pay it off interest-free. That's right. Receive 20% instant savings with the luxury of paying off your project interest-free for up to 36 months. Restrictions apply, offers for a limited time, so what are you waiting for? It's time you finally go Guida. Call today to schedule a free in-home estimate at 1-877-GO-GUIDA or visit them at goguida.com. That's go, GUIDA.com.
See Joe Conklin and the City Rhythm Orchestra in a tribute to Philly sports fans at Wildwood Catholic Academy in North Wildwood and at the Ocean City Music Pier in Ocean City, New Jersey.
Alan Iverson, Cole Hamels, Joel Embiid. My dad set this up. This was actually a gift to us to bring us all together. Come see Joe and relive all the Philadelphia history. Come see it. It's amazing.
That's Joe Conklin and the City Rhythm Orchestra at Wildwood Catholic on June 29th and the Boardwalk in Ocean City, New Jersey on July 13th. For tickets, go to joeconklin.com.
Broadcasting live from the Cherry Hill Volvo Studios, where relationships matter. Talk Radio 1210, WPHT, and on the free Odyssey app.
Furthermore, I hope my meaning won't be
All right, Dom Giordano Show. Welcome in 855-839-1210. You just heard that from the school board over in North Penn, the school board meeting last night. Got the side question. All right, let's replay for people that didn't hear it. The one cut that I like the most of the field goal kicker, Dan, and I'll tell you what the update, Harrison Butker. First, Gracie Hunt was on Fox and Friends playing pickleball this morning with Steve Ducey. Oh, my God.
What is happening in 2024?
Ducey was dorkier than Dorcas. I mean, it was amazing.
Oh, look at his shirt.
I felt bad for Will Kane, who was playing in cowboy boots. He had to have him as a partner. So they asked, here, first of all, here's the kicker, Harrison Butker. And this is the part that I like because he's directly doing what the bishop should be doing, going after Biden. How can this guy be so pro-abortion and be a devout Catholic? All right, here's one of the things he said that got people churning.
And poor leadership have negatively impacted major life issues. Things like abortion, IVF, surrogacy, euthanasia, as well as a growing support for degenerate cultural values in media, all stem from the pervasiveness of disorder. Our own nation is led by a man who publicly and proudly proclaims his Catholic faith, but at the same time is delusional enough to make the sign of the cross during a pro-abortion rally. He has been so vocal in his support for the murder of innocent babies that I'm sure to many people, it appears that you can be both Catholic and pro-choice. He is not alone. From the man behind the COVID lockdowns to the people pushing dangerous gender ideologies onto the youth of America, they all have a glaring thing in common. They are Catholic. This is an important reminder that being Catholic alone doesn't cut it. These are the sorts of things we are told in polite society to not bring up. You know, the difficult and unpleasant things. But if we are going to be men and women for this time in history, we need to stop pretending that the Church of Nice is a winning proposition. We must always speak and act in charity, but never mistake charity for cowardice. It is safe to say that over the past few years, I've gained quite the reputation for speaking my mind. I never envisioned myself nor wanted to have this sort of a platform, but God has given it to me so I have no other choice but to embrace it and preach more hard truths about accepting your lane and staying in it.
So that's some of it. Then the stuff about his wife staying at home and all that has just gotten people weasels of weasels. The NFL, though, is the biggest problem here. We got to face it. And it's uncomfortable because I just listen. I love sports. I listen to sports talk radio, Dan, and the discussion just on the random schedule coming out. The analysis of it is like we're analyzing the trial. Well, the Eagles don't play teams that have more rest in these games versus that game, and the minutia of it's incredible. So people just want the NFL, and they're willing to say to them, do whatever you want. Take away the kickoff. Call it the kickoff, though. Do whatever you want. You know what I mean? Yeah. America, let's face it, when you go against the NFL, I'm saying that because their Office of Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion guy went after this guy and said this is out of bounds. The NFL, particularly, they were sensitive to the issue with women. The NFL trying to get women into the sport. We're supposed to overlook not a lot of these guys, but a significant number, and their issues with women. You mentioned Shady McCoy. He's a hero in Philadelphia. He was attacking cops. He hasn't apologized for that. He's not going to apologize for that. Why should he? So it's the type of thing that is painful because America is given up on baseball and wants NFL football. No sport could do what they've done. Maybe soccer in some countries, I've heard, is as crazed as NFL is here.
Can I read you a headline from Fast Company?
Yes.
Taylor Swift gave the NFL brand a
Yes.
huge boost. Will a kicker's offensive speech throw that all away?
Can you send me that?
I
Because
sure
I'm writing
will.
a column on it. Can you imagine? And you know what they're talking about, Dan? They're talking about their brand with women. That's the part, I believe. I don't think they care about the Catholic part and all that other stuff.
You want me to read you some of this article?
Yeah, go ahead. Give
If
us a little
Kansas
bit.
City Chiefs kicker Harrison Butker set out to offend as many people as possible with his recent commencement speech, he succeeded wildly. During the 20-minute speech at Benedictine College on May 11th, he railed against reproductive rights, DEI, women in the workplace, the LGBTQ community, COVID protocols, the current president, and as if that weren't enough, he referred to Taylor Swift as, quote, my teammate's girlfriend before quoting her. I can go on.
Oh, what? Why is that inappropriate? My teammate's girlfriend?
Apparently.
All right, so let's hear. Here is, first of all, the Missouri Attorney General, and this guy wants to make a name for himself, Andrew Bailey. He is going after the Kansas City newspapers, Dan, because they doxed on their Twitter, on X, their social media account. They've since taken it down. He says, I will enforce the Missouri Human Rights Act to ensure Missourians are not targeted for their free exercise of religion. Stay tuned. Dan, I'd like to try to get him on. He'd be great the next week. Well, chop. Right now.
You're right.
Yeah.
Jeez.
All right, here's what they put up, Dan. They put up, we apologize for the previous tweet. All right. Have they erased it from my news copy here? They said that just a reminder that Harrison Butker lives in the city of, I'm not going to say it here because you should. They gave the name of the town that he lives in, which is a small town. I mean, don't you think people might know him? It seems like I don't know, it was a size 10,000 people maybe. How could you do that? Given the times we live in, given everything else, because they're crazed. Because the NFL and the newspaper, they're all in it together. What did he say that was so out of line? I don't agree with him, Dan, and I don't think you do too. I don't want to put words in your mouth. On the overall thing he said about women at home, I agree, and that's his opinion. I just think it goes a bit too far. That's how I would put it. So what? That's his opinion, but I differ with it. If you agree with him, that's fine. It doesn't mean you're right, I'm right, or he's right. Dan, you agree with him?
Agree with his points that he's making?
Yeah.
Not really, but I agree with his, he
Right.
should be able to say it. He's not on the field. Like a lot of what Colin Kaepernick got crapped on for was because he was on the sidelines doing it in a uniform on the NFL's time on TV making that. This guy was doing this at a commencement speech off the field, completely different story here.
Right.
And he's getting lambasted for it. It's such a double standard, and that's where I'm at with this issue.
Here's Gracie Hunt. Here is is she the wife of the guy who, oh my God, this guy owns a team? You know, they stand up there getting the trophy. Andy Reid and the great GM that they have must be going, oh my God.
Gracie's the daughter.
Gracie's the daughter of the guy who owns the team now, who's relatively young, I think.
Clark,
yeah. She's playing, this is after playing pickleball with Steve Ducey on Fox and Friends. Here's what she said.
Regarding the kicker, Harrison Butker.
Well, I can only speak from my own experience, which is I've had the most incredible mom who had the ability to stay home and be with us as kids growing up. And I understand that there are many women out there who can't make that decision, but for me in my life, I know it was really formative in shaping me and my siblings to be who we are.
So you understood what he was talking about?
For sure.
Okay.
And I really respect Harrison and his Christian faith and what he's accomplished on and off the field.
All right, here is a TikToker pushing back against Gracie Hunt. I guess the field goal.
Pushing back against
the field goal kicker. Yeah, here we go.
Clearly, you don't listen to your teammate's girlfriend's music because the lyrics right before that are, they ask, do you have a man? And she says, I don't remember. And I just, first of all, you look like an idiot, an absolute imbecile on this planet. Second of all, I literally don't understand how you can be so sexist, homophobic, and misogynistic all in one speech and like everyone just listened to you. Like, what? Second of all, it's not your teammate's girlfriend. She's Taylor freaking Swift.
Oh my God!
You want more? I got more.
Wait a minute.
I don't want to make you endure more.
You know what gets me though too? The NFL, and who is arguably bigger than that? This person's going nuts. What's wrong with saying his girlfriend? you got to say Taylor Swift. You have to bow down to it. And apparently, the NFL did a lot of machinations, Dan, because of where Taylor Swift is playing, getting the stadium there on that date, but also they don't want her to have to travel too far to get to the games. I've had it. They rule America. They rule our lives. There's nothing like it. They are the
Swifties?
No, the NFL. They are the evil empire. They're bad for sports, in my view. I don't like it. I could be the only one out there, and I realize I'm self-righteous because it's not my number one sport. If it were, then maybe I realize it's hard. People want this. They're crazed. Days on the NFL schedule coming out.
Dom, Taylor Swift has an album called 15 and one called 1989, I think.
Good answers.
No, it's a song called 15.
Yeah. Okay.
Sorry, I don't know my
Good
Taylor.
answers. All right, that's the side question today. Give us a TV show, a film, or a song with a number that's prominent in the title. Get yours in before they go. At some point today, too, Real Housewives of Capitol Hill. You got AOC.
It's so funny that you say that because I went to Maisley and said the exact same thing this morning.
Yeah, it's not just AOC and Marjorie Taylor Greene, Dan. I'm telling you, I would chuck out the woman from Massachusetts and tag Crockett in. Remember I talked about her, the African-American representative from Texas with the false eyelashes.
Starts talking about somebody's bleach blonde, bad built butch body that would not be engaging in personalities, correct?
What now?
And a guy like Comer, who's from Kentucky, said, Can you imagine what's going around in his mind with the three of them there sniping at each other?
What now?
That's a new drop. It's like a Lindsey
I
Graham
didn't know
one
you could say that word in Congress or here, Dan, the B word there, about Marjorie Taylor Greene's body. Oh, my God.
What, butch?
Yes.
That's a good question. Is that off limits? I don't know. I just said it.
Ring Greg Stocker up on that.
I will be here on Monday.
All right.
This committee then starts talking about somebody's bleach blonde, bad built butch body that would not be engaging in personalities, correct?
What now?
I will play the rest of it too coming up. Hey, I've told you about my great friend and dentist and board certified prosthodontist, Dr. Robert Bentz, especially all the infrastructure he has. And one thing he does that you don't see in other offices, whether it's a routine visit or a comprehensive, multifaceted process, sits down with you, develops a plan that you buy into to move forward with. You just don't get that step by step with each visit. If you have questions, maybe you've been putting off a dental problem. If you're ready to get the smile that you've always wanted, I've been telling you for years about the infrastructure he has, how skilled he is, but it's the entire Bentz experience. That's what you get with Dr. Robert Bentz, the Bentz Dental Group. You will see the Bentz difference. Make that appointment today. Visit Bentz, B-E-N-T-Z, dentalgroup.com or call 610-272-6949. 610-272-6949.
Kale and Company weekday mornings 6 till 10.
The ride is July 21st. Yeah. I believe we will hit 20 grand before the 4th of July holiday. This might happen by Father's Day, to be honest. Last year, once I did the ride and I finished it, I wanted to be on the air the next day to brag and prove that I could do it. Now that I've done that, I think I'm going to stay down in Atlantic City this year and just crash for the night at a hotel.
Are you?
Yeah, I might take a day off the next day.
It ends in Atlantic City. Maybe there's an AC sponsorship. You could spend the night and broadcast from there.
We could broadcast in a casino at 6 a.m.
You're just filled with ideas today.
Dawn will be at the sales meeting next Tuesday.
Start your day with Kale and Company. Weekday mornings 6 till 10 on Talk Radio 1210, WPHT, and the free Odyssey app.
Splash into savings this Memorial Day with Spring Dance Hot Tubs. Soak in the relaxation and save big on new Hot Spring and Caldera Hot Tubs and save up to $4,000. Plus, when you buy a new Endless Pool Swim Spa, receive a free Aqua Bike and Exercise Kit, a $2,000 value. Looking to upgrade? Your hot tub could be worth up to $4,000. Hurry into Spring Dance Hot Tubs in Jameson, Exton, or in Plymouth Meeting in PA or in Marlton, New Jersey, and upgrade your backyard this summer. Visit us online at springdancehottubs.com for more details. Don't miss out on these incredible savings.
Are you concerned about your child struggling in school? Do they need more of a challenge? Now's the time to make the call to Kathy Ganna and New Hope Academy in Yardley and Doylestown at 800-300-0003. Let New Hope Academy transform your child's life forever by helping them now. For over 3 decades, New Hope Academy founder Kathy Ganna, a pioneering educator and entrepreneur who created the NHA model, has been utilizing state-of-the-art solutions to uncover ways where your child could avoid struggling and succeed. At New Hope Academy, there's a student-teacher ratio of 2 to 1, allowing for students to deal with many disorders, including high anxiety, social, and emotional, and including bipolar. Do not wait. Remember, only the best teachers can work at NHA. Call for a no-obligation tour and consultation. 90% of NHA graduates pursue a college education. Call Kathy today at 800-300-0003. Online, newhopeacademy.net. Call New Hope Academy today.
Just like our offensive line protects our star quarterback, plumbers protect the health of the nation. And Philadelphia Plumbers Union Local 690 is no different. In hospitals, commercial, industrial, and residential, with the best trained plumbers in the world, you can be sure your project is done on time and on budget, no matter how big or small. So when your business needs to build new or expand existing facilities, you can count on the members of Plumbers Union Local 690. Visit plumbers690.org.
As veterans, we're no strangers to helping others.
It's what we were taught, trained, and told to do.
It could be for anything. Helping a friend move.
Listening to a fellow veteran for hours, at any hour of the day.
Or just simply making time for people. A neighbor, a loved one, or even a stranger.
We're often the first to help others. There's no question about it.
But we do have one question for the veterans listening.
When was the last time you reached out for help?
Perhaps it's time to do for yourself what you would do for others.
If you or someone you know needs resources, whether it's for stress, finances, employment, or mental health, don't wait. Reach out.
Find more information at va.gov/reach. That's va.gov/reach.
Brought to you by the United States Department of Veterans Affairs and the Ad Council. Be sure to follow Talk Radio 1210 WPHT on the free Odyssey app. Download it now.
All right, Tom Giordano Show, big 1 o'clock hour. I'll play you a little bit of what went on Capitol Hill yesterday. It is incredible, even for the moronic nature of it.
I believe she apologized. No.
Perry, okay, hold on. Then after Mr. Perry's going to be recognized, then Ms.
I'm not apologizing.
Scott Perry was there, too.
Hey.
And a senator who would really, if he were in the middle of this.
Ask for this.
No, it's not Lindsey Graham tags in. We'll tell you who that senator is. And I'll also give you the thing that I don't understand the most that President Trump agreed to with these two debates because it's just big part of his persona. I'll explain. Big 1 o'clock hour coming up with Dom on Talk Radio 1210.
Hey, Dawn Stensland here. You've heard me talk about Chapman Windows, Doors, and Siding, how much I love my new patio doors. You know by now, if I needed windows, doors, or siding, I'd only trust the Chapman team. If you're thinking of updating your current siding or removing your current stucco and replacing it with siding, think Chapman. With the new updated siding choices available, the curb appeal of your home will pop. If you currently have stucco, updating it with James Hardy plank or vinyl siding will truly add value to your home. If you're looking to sell, you can bet buyers will value updated new siding. And right now would be a good time to get ahead of the ball and plan your siding project for 2024. The certified Chapman installers are the folks you want on the job. If you or someone you know are looking for windows, doors, siding, stucco remediation, shutters, or hardware, give them a call or text them 610-431-8898, ChapmanWindowsDoors.com. Chapman, the name I trust. Tell them Dawn sent you.
When I got sick, I didn't just need a transplant. I needed a heart and a kidney transplant. And my Jefferson Health team didn't just find me a donor. They took care of me as a patient and a person.
At Jefferson Health, we do not compromise. We are more than 12,000 caregivers who push beyond what's possible. We are healthcare rooted in care. Jefferson Health, uncompromising care.
I'm Philomena, founder of Kin Apparel here in Philly. I love my natural hair, but not what hoodies and hats were doing to it. So I made my own satin-lined hoodies and created a business in the process. I've got big dreams, and Chase for Business in Philly was like, all right, how do we get you there?
Get financial guidance from bankers in your community and convenient digital tools all in one place. Learn more at chaseforbusiness.com. Make more of what's yours. Real customers compensated. JP Morgan Chase Bank and a member FDIC.
Toyota is proud to present the 97th Stotesbury Cup Regatta on the Schuylkill River May 17th and 18th. Enjoy the Toyota experience in Stotesbury Village near the grandstand finish line, where the 2024 Toyota lineup will be on display. Come and visit the world's oldest and largest high school rowing competition along the Schuylkill River and see a variety of 2024 Toyota trucks at the Athletes Village near the launching dock. See you at the regatta. Toyota, let's go places.
Family and Company Jewelers on Route 70 in Marlton, New Jersey is known for being South Jersey's diamond destination and your trusted jeweler for quality, service, and price. Choose from the largest selection of engagement rings in the area or have their master jewelers create a one-of-a-kind ring just for your special day. Visit their showroom or shop online at familyjewelers.com.
Family and Company Jewelers, South Jersey's diamond destination.
Philadelphia's Talk Radio 1210 WPHT, WPHT HD, WOGL HD3, Philadelphia. From the Cherry Hill Volvo Studios, where relationships matter. Always live on the free Odyssey app. It's Dom time. Now, Dom Giordano.
All right, it is Dom time. Welcome in, 855-839-1210. 1:30, we have J-Town, the attorney we really like, the Trump surrogate. I told you what I would make the closing argument, among other things. They're playing you here. Alvin Bragg was trying to play you to this New York jury. Look at how bad this is yesterday with the breakdown of Cohen. It's not just about Cohen and the lying. It's about they vetted this guy. Look, you're not supposed to. You're not allowed to say it. They rehearsed the guy. You can't do it word by word and all, but that's what happens in this. And they thought this would get past you, a bunch of sharp New Yorkers. I'd make that part of the closing argument here to appeal directly to them, because I believe you only probably need one more to have a solid coalition there. You might have it already. That's going to result in a hung jury. And that's all we need out of this. That's it. Now, would Alvin Bragg dare to come back and try again? Yes, he would. Yeah. You got to realize what you're up against with these people. But I don't think the timelines line up, A, between now and the election, and B, if Alvin Bragg came back and tried to do this after getting a hung jury, I think the surge toward Trump of people identifying with this would be Massive. Massive. All right, 855-839-1210. Apparently, there's a story floating around. We'll give you details as we get it about a security breach of a Marine Corps base. I think this is just breaking now. Quantico, which is maybe the most famous, and the White House is going to comment on it. We'll see what it's about. Allegedly, though, the people involved were in the country illegally. Okay? I'm reading this as we fly, Dan. You could take a look at it too. This guy allegedly is a Chinese national too. So you see, this isn't just an ordinary thing going on here. It plays right into what we're facing with Biden. 855-839-1210. Yeah, the Real Housewives of Capitol Hill. Now, the senator who has tagged in is John Fetterman.
Oh, no.
Yeah, Fetterman on Twitter said that for years, I've said that the House of Representatives is like the Jerry Springer Show. I now say that's an insult to the Jerry Springer Show. Yeah. And that means then that AOC says, I understand you likely would not have stood up for your colleague and seem to be confused about racism and misogyny.
So AOC shooting back at Fetterman?
Yeah, Fetterman. Well, let me finish. I understand you would not have stood up for your colleague, meaning the false eyelashes woman. By the way, I'll give my commentary on false eyelashes. I like them as long as not overdone, Dan. I don't know about you.
Well, we got to play it back in context.
Yeah, we will. And you seem to be confused about racism and misogyny being a both sides issue. Now, this is in relation to Israel. But I stand up to bullies instead of becoming one. And to the women of Pennsylvania, I'd stand up for you too. Enjoy your Friday. I haven't seen another response from Fetterman. Now, you got to like what Fetterman's doing here. All right, let's play this in context now. So first, we're going to start with the, you say start with C, right?
Yeah. MGJT going after Merchan's daughter and funding, and then that's where it kind of turns around.
Which is a legitimate question because Goldman, I'm not sure if he's on that, from New York, apparently admitted that they used the Merchan daughter her group for something. A lot of Cory Booker admitted the other day. So it's legit what Marjorie Taylor Greene, up until a point, is doing here. Here's how it sounds.
I'd like to know if any of the Democrats on this committee are employing Judge Merchan's daughter.
Please tell me what that has to do with Merrick Garland.
Is she a porn star?
Oh, Goldman. That's right. He's advising. Okay.
He's advising who? What?
Awkward.
Do you know what we're here for? You know we're here about
I don't think you know what you're here for.
Well, you the one talking about. I
think your fake eyelashes are messing up.
No, ain't nothing.
There we go.
Order, Mr. Chairman.
That's beneath
would
even
you engage in order of your committee. Order, please.
There's a point of order. We have a point of order. Mr. Lynch, state your point.
Mr. Chairman, I would just like to ask the parliamentarian if your conduct here in raising money in connection with this hearing is referable to the Ethics Committee within this hearing. Is a motion in order to refer your conduct and your abuse of
It's not a point of order.
Mr. I do have a point of order, and I would like to move to take down Ms. Green's
AOC.
words.
Uh-oh.
That is absolutely unacceptable. How dare you attack the physical appearance of another person?
Are your
Move
feelings hurt?
her words down. Oh, girl, baby girl.
Oh, really?
Don't even play.
Baby girl.
We are gonna move, and we're gonna take your words down.
I second that motion.
Baby girl.
I give it to Marjorie Taylor Greene in that round as much as, you got problems. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, what's with the baby girl there? Marjorie Taylor Greene respond. Now, Crockett, I'm always on the lookout for talent. We identified Crockett as who ought to be. I did. Bowman, too. He's not a female, but he pulled the fire alarm. So there's that.
Yeah, there's that.
Yeah. We should chunk out on the squads of the two haters and AOC is the least entertaining. and take the woman out from Massachusetts, I would tag in Crockett. This woman is completely at the lowest rung. Bobart at her worst. That's what Crockett is on most days. All right, here's part 2 now. And Comer is the chairman, right, Dan? I think he is. It sounds like it's Comer.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, Jim Jordan, it would be interesting at that point. Let's have a ruling on the false eyelashes. All right, here's part 2.
I move to strike her words for a second time based on her second set of personal remarks attacking another member.
Who? Chairman Comer.
Because you all cannot
I have an
seem
amendment at
to
the desk,
apply
and this
the rules
sideshow
of the
needs to
committee.
stop.
We have to do this every time.
Okay, I'm recognized. I'm recognized. I'm going to go ahead and start talking.
Look, I know. Look, I don't know if you noticed it. I have 2 hearing aids. I'm
It's like
very
Andy
deaf.
Cohen from the
I'm
reunion
not
shows.
understanding. Everybody's yelling. I'm doing the best I can. Can we not recognize Ms. Green and let
We
her
cannot
yell?
because of the rules of the committee, Mr. Chair. That is what I'm trying to communicate in the present moment.
We have a Okay, what's the motion?
The motion is to strike the gentlelady's words for the second set of remarks, not the first, the second that apply to me.
She has no idea.
Anna moves first.
I think, Mr. Chairman, I'm the only one
words-
recognized
word-
right now.
We objected at the time.
Will the member state the word she wishes
Yes.
struck?
She told me, or she asserted that I was not intelligent. These are the specific words. We can have it read by the clerk.
It was made immediately.
And it was made immediately. I am not moving now.
I don't think it was
I am not
timely.
It was
moving
made
now.
immediately, both by the
made
gentlelady and by me.
Mr.
Guys,
Chair,
look.
it was made immediately.
It was made
and
immediately,
you said
both by
that
the
you would
gentlelady and by
return
me.
to us.
Guys,
She said, "You don't have the intelligence to talk to me," is what she said.
Is that
Chair
in doubt?
recognizes-
Is there any doubt?
Ms. Green for 4 minutes and 21 seconds.
Mr. Chair, what is
I
happening with the
object to-
rules?
I object to the ruling.
We must.
Oh, my God. Can you imagine these morons? All right, of all stripes there. And Bobart's on the committee. She voted against Green. They have a feud going on. Here's the finale.
I would watch this as a reality show. If they,
Yeah.
if they had cameras following these
Yes.
individuals.
Oh, yeah. Here is
I'd
here's
hate watching AOC.
Crockett now coming back with her attack, but she thinks she's clever by saying if a member said this.
Ms. Crockett.
I'm just curious, just to better understand your ruling. If someone on this committee then starts talking about somebody's bleach blonde, bad built butch body, that would not be engaging in personalities, correct?
A what now?
This guy.
Chairman, I make a motion to strike those words.
I don't think that's
Hold on.
a
I'm
parliament.
trying to find clarification on what quality.
Chairman, motion to
I
strike
had no
those
idea
words.
what you just said.
We're not gonna do this. Look, you guys earlier literally just.
You just voted to do
Y'all did it
it.
first, so you don't want to talk about
voted to do it.
Order.
I'm trying to get clarification.
Look at calm down. Calm down.
No, because this
I
is
will
what
not
y'all
get
do.
through proceeding.
So I'm trying
Hey,
to
Ms.
get
Crockett,
clarification.
you're not recognized.
If you watch Real Housewives, you know calm down. It's not something you want to say to one of the Real Housewives.
Guys, Ms.
I can't hear
Crockett.
you with your
And you
yelling.
don't want me
Calm
to be-
down.
No,
Can you please calm
don't
down?
tell me to calm down.
Calm down.
Because y'all
Please
talk
calm
noise,
down.
and then you
You're
can't
out of
take
control.
Because if I
Look,
come,
Chairman,
if I
can
come
we
and
send
talk
outside to
shit
take a
about
break
her,
for 5
y'all
minutes?
gonna have a problem.
Chairman, Mr.
Order.
Chairman.
Sorry.
Chair.
I don't know why
Okay.
you're
Order.
acting
Chair
like
now
that.
recognizes.
All right. So yeah, one of the worst. I mean, this stuff goes on a lot. Can we throw Matt Gaetz on that committee to see what he would say with Crockett? I think that would be enjoyable too. All right. The bottom line in this, the idiocy over this, and this is, though, over a serious thing. And this is Marshawn's daughter, the gag rule, Trump. I mean, how much more do you know to see that this judge is compromised, should not be the judge in this case? He should have recused himself. That's what they were there to talk about. Also, they were talking about Merrick Garland being held in contempt. He is contemptible on this. He will not release anything around the her testimony or her interrogation of President Biden because of how damaging it is. American people have a right to hear the tape of that. Okay, phone lines.
I don't know if you noticed it. I have 2 hearing aids.
Oh, God.
Very deaf.
The guy, oh, man, the guy with, having to deal with this. My God. Maybe they all shouldn't be on the same committee. Maybe but there's enough of them here. All right, 855-839-1210. That's how you get in. Come on, side question today. Don't wait to the end. You know, we don't necessarily have a bunch of time at the end to get in everybody. Hit us with a film, a movie, a TV show, or song in honor of 90210 that has a prominent number in the title. Coming up, President Trump starts talking about the most recent campaign stop, the civil rights issue of our time, school choice. I'm glad that he's saying it, but there was somebody in the audience there who's made that phrase a hallmark of his, leads people to believe that he is the one ultimately will be the VP choice. Tell you who that is coming up on Talk Radio 1210.
What now?
Oh, excuse me, Your Honor. Two youths.
Kale and Company weekday mornings 6 till 10.
We're only 9 weeks away from the Bend to the Shore bike tour. It's coming back again. No. It's time to start revving it up. We're going to have Team 1210 again. I'm looking forward to it. The guy who trained me last year, the great Dave Madden, sent me a text yesterday. I told him right after Memorial Day, we'll start training again. We'll get about a 4 to 6 week training camp in. The only question is, will the debates go off or will Stocker get on the bike and do the 65 miles?
Start your day with Kale and Company. Weekday mornings 6 till 10 on Talk Radio 1210, WPHT, and the free Odyssey app.
Hey, we're David and Greg Figueroa, founders of Melinda's Hot Sauce. Sometimes brand testimonials feel, well, unbelievable. So we have a fresh take. Tastemonials. Comments from real people on the internet who love Melinda's balance of hot heat and fresh, flavorful ingredients. At 2021 DoWork says, legendary. Nobody does it better. What was that? Sounds for fire emoji, touchdown emoji, and 100% emoji. Okay. At Snack Food Mafia says, I love how they were a thicker hot sauce and not some watery junk. Love it. At Moshroom writes, best hot sauce west of the Mississippi, also the best hot sauce east of the Mississippi. Pro tip, that's the whole United States. Finally, at IGP1 always says, smack so hard. We love to hear that as much as the FCC. Set your mouth on flavor with Melinda's Hot Sauces. Find them at your local retailer or online at melindas.com. That's MELINDAS.com.
Do you have 3 ex-wives and your current trophy wife wants a life insurance policy 3 times the size of the policies you had to purchase for your previous mistakes? If so, you need to call Big Lou at Term Provider, 800-700-6898. Big Lou is intimately familiar with your problems, and if you're 50 or 60 years old and in reasonably good health, a $1 million policy should only cost about $100 to $200 per month. Big Lou may have a solution for your previous policies as well. You may even save enough money to lighten the load on your new $1 million policy. Remember, call Big Lou. He's like you, except he's only on number 2. Call Term Provider at 800-700-6898. That's 800-700-6898 for $1 million in term life insurance that you can live with. Call Big Lou at 800-700-6898. 800-700-6898.
Join Nick Kale and WPHT in supporting the Bend to the Shore bike tour on Sunday, July 21st. Ride 30 miles, 65 miles, or just make a donation to the cause. Visit bendtoshore.org. Sign up with the code NIC1210 to get $25 off the registration fee. That's shore.org. Promo code NIC1210. The Bend to Shore Bike Tour provides financial relief for the families of fallen and injured first responders and is organized by Families Behind the Badge Children's Foundation.
Ready for pool time this Memorial Day weekend? At Leslie's, we've got you covered. Save up to 20% on all things pool. We have everything you need in stock and at a great price. Take the guesswork out of pool care. Come into Leslie's for a free 10-point AccuBlue water test to ensure your water is clean, safe, and beautiful. And with our price match promise, you never have to compromise on quality or price. Get set for all your pool time fun with Leslie's. Dive in and get started. Shop online at lesliespool.com or at one of our 1,000 locations. Leslie's, we know pools.
Borgata's Dash for Cash giveaway is here. This May and June, you could win a share of $1.3 million in prizes, including 2 new Cadillac Lyric SUVs or one of 4 new Voyager golf carts. Play to earn entries for 2 grand prize drawings held Saturday, May 25th and June 29th. The Dash for Cash giveaway, only at Borgata Hotel, Casino, and Spa. For details, visit theborgata.com. Must be 21 or older. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
For more than 50 years, Delaware Valley homeowners have called Oliver for their heating, cooling, plumbing, and electrical needs. Leaky faucet, clogged drain, Oliver's expert plumbers can handle that. No power, outdated electrical panel, Oliver's licensed electricians can help. No AC, Oliver has same-day service, flexible financing, and the industry's best warranties. For fast service you can trust, call Oliver today or visit online at oliverheatcool.com.
Yo, Roy is Ford. We know your favorite station is 1210 WPHT.
All right, it is Dom time. Dom Giordano show. We will talk with Jay Town coming up at 1:30, the surrogate Trump attorney we really like. How devastating was this yesterday? Well, it was devastating, but it ain't over till you have that jury start to deliberate. And I still bet right from the beginning what's going to happen here is going to be a mistrial. Now, we have Bill O'Reilly on yesterday. He knows Trump better than most, written book with him, about him, been at events with him over the 20, 30 years. He couldn't figure out, and here's one of the critical things, what in the world would have Trump, it's not just the CNN thing. O'Reilly yesterday going after both the moderators over there and ABC. It's that he agreed not to have a crowd. I mean, this is what I think gives energy, gets Trump going. Not this just back and forth that's boring, and this is going to be incredibly tepid, I think. But it's with a crowd there and the crowd reaction. I was there at the very first one, Infinity Live, big night. And Megyn Kelly went right after him. She was sick, and we didn't know it then, but right after him about all the things he had said about women. There was a pause of about a second and a half in Trump's response. And then he did the thing with the finger and said, only Rosie O'Donnell. And the place just erupted. That was a sign of what we were going to see play out here. But without an audience there, you know, if whoever the moderator, Jake Tapper says something, he goes, only Rosie O'Donnell, it's flat. You know, it doesn't have, you know, why bother? Why engage? So it's a mystery to me. And I know some of you just keep on saying, well, he just wants to get in the ring. He doesn't care. He's going to beat up on Biden and all the rest of it. And again, who has the advantage at this point? Trump has the advantage. Biden's the one that's desperate to reset things here. Particularly, I'm thinking if Biden said it after Michael Cohen's testimony yesterday, I think it's a fair bet Trump wouldn't do it. Because he's got a sense that this jury is not going to convict him. And that's what Democrats need, a convicted felon tag on Trump. They're not going to get it after this, not going to be acquitted either, and we've come too far for that. But what's going to happen is he's going to be out of jail free card, and none of the others are going to matter. The other three cases are not going to happen before the election. So why do this? Home territory for Biden? All right, I could see this argument. I'll even do 2 on hostile territory if I can get Biden on Fox. Not because Brett Baer and Martha McCallum are going to kill him, but for once, for an hour and a half, he can't escape. They can't usher the media out of the room. He can't withstand actual journalists going back and forth with him over this for 90 minutes. He can't do it. You know what he'll do? He'll start hollering. He'll be angry. He'll walk off the stage the wrong way or something like that. So why not get him to do that when you're willing to give up a crowd, the mic shut off, and 2 home court advantages? Doesn't make sense. I get the idea. I'll tear him up and all that. I get all this, but come on, let's be strategic here. And the bottom line is this is giving in too much just to have the opportunity to go after Biden, particularly the audience, I think. Not having that there. And it's ridiculous, this stuff. Oh, they make too much noise. And oh my God, it's not civil. Every debate or almost every debate that I remember has had an audience there. Why can't we do that again? Well, it's because of Trump. That's why we can't do it. All right, one other thing, then we'll talk to Jay Town, 855-839-1210. You get in. Scotty Scheffler is the world's #1 golfer. I really don't understand why. The stuff that he does in his swing, just is not fundamentally something that you think it's not Tiger Woods. It's not Jack Nicklaus. This guy's number one, and he is winning all over the place. So he's headed today to get to Valhalla. Yes, that's an actual name, of course. PGA Championship. One of the 4 majors. And sadly, there was a tragic accident. A shuttle bus hit someone and killed him. So it's rainy. It's early morning. And even though he doesn't tee off until hours after that, he's got a routine. They do a pregame stretch out. Then you practice and get ready for the tee time. And apparently he thinks he's doing the right thing. He turns into the golf course. And this detective who's directing traffic for the Louisville police force tries to stop him and then grabs onto the car as Scheffler is driving down the driveway. And finally, Scheffler stops, takes him out, immediately handcuffs him. I'm looking at a mugshot of Scotty Scheffler in an orange jumpsuit. He makes it to the golf course. PGA in the tank a little bit here, Dan. It was raining, but they push it back a period of time. And he birdies the first hole. Now, he's not in the lead or actually that close to the lead at this point. Had to be a bit shaken by this. Here's what got me on Twitter. Both on the left, I'm going to play Al Sharpton and this other woman who were on the Morning Joe show of where they go attacking the police. But Joy Kelly, who's been on here, great investigative reporter, on her Twitter, Dan, she and these people on the right are also attacking the police. Now, on paper, this detective seems a little bit officious about stuff, maybe. But, if the cop tells you to stop in this situation, you're in the driveway of a golf course or a country club, you got to stop at that point. I mean, haven't we learned this? Here's Al Sharpton with Morning Joe. And Morning Joe's the voice of reason here about Scheffler. Sharpton brings up Breonna Taylor. After all, it's Louisville.
Yeah,
that's where he's going. Here it is.
Was booked on charges of second-degree assault of a police officer, third-degree criminal mischief, reckless driving, and disregarding signals from officers directing traffic. He had been scheduled to tee off a little after 10 a.m. Eastern. Now, all start times were delayed by an hour and 20 minutes because of that fatal traffic accident that happened earlier this morning. And to your point, Joe, as we sat down here, because we were following this all morning long, a picture came up on Twitter X, which is not particularly reliable these days as to what's real or what's not. And it's a Scheffler mugshot in an orange jumpsuit. And our first instinct was, that can't be real.
Right.
It is real. We just showed it. And ESPN, who's been all over this story, is now reporting that Scheffler is receiving a police escort back to the golf course.
Well, so is he still charged?
He has been charged, but he has been released now and he's heading to go tee off.
That's crazy.
Okay.
That is.
So this is the same police force that shot and killed Breonna Taylor.
That's exactly right.
What was the resolution of that?
They were not punished to the degree of the law. I mean, you're dealing with justice in Louisville, which is what Breonna Taylor's mother and others have been talking about for a long time. I mean, the absurdity of the story that the policeman didn't even ask, why did you keep driving? Nothing, no interrogation. Just wait, I told you something. I'll jump on the car to stop you.
He didn't jump on the car.
This shows you the mentality that we were dealing with Breonna Taylor and others in the Louisville area.
Wow. Okay. We'll be following this story. It seems like a lot of unanswered questions.
Yeah, but
we can't jump to any conclusions, obviously.
Right.
Just very curious and
sounds like you're jumping to
concerning.
conclusions.
And I mean, and nobody's comparing this to obviously Breonna Taylor. It is still.
No, my point is just it's a very militarized police force.
Exactly. The mentality.
Yeah, no. Totally get it.
Ooh, okay.
Totally get it. But I mean, again, say what are they thinking? Like, what are they thinking? And the ESPN reporter who's looking at it the entire.
I have a inside the mind of Joe Scarborough there, Dom.
Oh yeah.
You want to hear
let's hear
I
inside.
didn't ask for this.
Yeah. Look, do I think the cop is totally right in this? No. But again, you got to stop in these situations. They're directing traffic. I know he wants to get there. Now, you know what the next spin is going to be. He's a guy of privilege. He's a white guy, millionaire. He's getting away with this. Breonna Taylor didn't. You can't go Breonna Taylor here with the Louisville Police Department. The cops being mocked, and I guess this part is mockable, Dan, because they want $80 for his pants, which were messed up during this whole thing with Scotty Scheffler. Yeah. He didn't jump on the car. I think he was holding on to the hand on the side. Scotty Scheffler should have stopped rather than continue driving there. I mean,
why would you continue driving?
yeah, well, it's useful. Any other day they would attack Scheffler and the PGA Tour white supremacy, but it's useful for them to say all these cops are the same. They attack everybody.
You suggested yesterday that Scotty Scheffler's a robot. Maybe this is proof that he just, malfunctioned and drove through the traffic stop and refused to stop. And
yeah, I
he
think
is a robot.
He is squeaky clean. He's a religious guy. He's winning big time. But on this, I got to say, until further notice, I think he did the wrong thing. Now, we'll see. This is just percolating as we're speaking. Everybody jumping on it to use it for some other kind of purpose. All right, coming up, J-Town, we've loved. It's been the silver lining of this trial. He's with us. And I want to talk with him, the surrogate for the Trump campaign, about the idea of the closing arguments. What's the prosecution going to say? Are they going to try to bring up Cohen and minimize that? Probably not. I don't see how you can minimize it. But I think you got to play with the idea they're playing you. You're a New Yorker. You don't get played. That's what Alvin Bragg is. It's about Bragg, not just Cohen. Yeah, we know all this stuff. It's about Bragg. How did they put a guy like this on to score? I mean, this is bringing in a guy, you're down in the red zone. He's going to push it into the end zone. They vetted him. They practiced with him. Why in the world would they think this would get by? All right, that's the closing argument. Let's talk about Captain Chucky's here for a moment. Memorial Day planning underway. Graduation party planning. Captain Chucky's to the rescue. Order delicious seafood and make your gathering a hit. Let Captain Chucky's help. Don't forget to order the brand new Bang Bang Jumbo Lump Crab Cake. This is a delicious, creamy 5-ounce jumbo lump breaded crab cake with a kick for those who like to spice it up with some heat. Check your store for availability. And it's the perfect time to check on all of Captain Chucky's offerings. Delicious stuffed mushrooms, salads, tremendous variety of homemade sides, desserts. They have it all. The soups. Don't forget the soups. Several choices of breaded, non-breaded crab cakes. Literally a crab cake for everybody. They use only the highest quality ingredients. Their Gulf shrimp is a huge hit. It's always wild caught, never farm raised. My favorite two include them, the Dom Roll. So visit Captain Chucky's today. There's a location near you. Go to WeLoveCrabCakes.com. WeLoveCrabCakes.com. And if you're headed to the shore, don't forget Captain Chucky's is there too. Several locations. Visit CaptainChucky's@theshore.com.
As veterans, we're no strangers to helping others.
It's what we were taught, trained, and told to do.
It could be for anything. Helping a friend move.
Listening to a fellow veteran for hours, at any hour of the day.
Or just simply making time for people. A neighbor, a loved one, or even a stranger.
We're often the first to help others. There's no question about it.
But we do have one question for the veterans listening.
When was the last time you reached out for help?
Perhaps it's time to do for yourself what you would do for others.
If you or someone you know needs resources, whether it's for stress, finances, employment, or mental health, don't wait. Reach out.
Find more information at va.gov/reach. That's va.gov/reach.
Brought to you by the United States Department of Veterans Affairs and the Ad Council.
It's time to get excited because new iced honey bun multi-packs are coming your way. Now you can find both delicious Tasty Cake honey bun flavors in 6-count boxes. Whether you love to bite into a soft and cinnamony iced or glazed honey bun, Tasty Cake has got you covered. Pick up a pack for your family today and bring home your favorite tasty treats. Make today tasty with Tasty Cake, except no substitutions.
For more expert appliance shopping advice, here's National Appliance Warehouse's own appliance guru.
Hello, prime grilling season is almost here. I can almost smell the barbecue now. National Appliance Warehouse is ready with a huge inventory of grills from top manufacturers. Today's grills are loaded with features designed to make outdoor cooking easy and fun, and the grilling experts at National Appliance Warehouse will help you navigate them all. Gas, charcoal, or electric. With so many options, it's important to choose a retailer with superior knowledge and customer service to help you select the correct one. National Appliance Warehouse is dedicated to just that. You'll find everything you need for the outdoor kitchen of your dreams, all at the lowest price available, guaranteed, thanks to Price Assure. And to make sure you're all set for that first barbecue, they'll deliver and even assemble most grills.
The Memorial Day Mega Sale is underway at National Appliance Warehouse. Save on a wide selection of grills and barbecue season in style this summer. Click nationalappliancewarehouse.com or visit their showroom in tax-free Wilmington or Middletown, Delaware today.
With so much uncertainty in the world today, you may find yourself wondering, is now even the right time to retire?
So many people are waiting, and those folks are going to be waiting a really long time, I hate to say, because there's no perfect time. The market is always unpredictable and volatile.
Fortunately, Jim Cipriotti has been helping get people to, through, and beyond retirement for over 25 years. Each week, he wants to help give you that freedom to retire. Listen to Freedom to Retire with Jim Cipriotti, Saturday mornings at 9 and Sunday afternoons at 5 on Talk Radio 1210 WPHT.
Now there's a simple, easy, and effective way to clean your nose and protect your health. It's called Navage. Navage. Available at Navage.com.
Weather sponsored by Morgan & Morgan.
It is a dry finish to the work week, but conditions remain partly to mostly cloudy. It will be mild with a high of around 72. Tonight, the clouds continue with a low of around 58. And for Saturday, cloudy skies with a few showers around. It will be cooler with a high 66.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. For over 35 years, we've grown by offering our clients more offices, more lawyers, and recovering more than $20 billion. Injured? The choice is easy. Morgan & Morgan. Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Talk Radio 1210 WPHT, broadcasting from the Cherry Hill Volvo Studios, where relationships matter.
All right, welcome in as we close the week out. No court today. President Trump's, Barron Trump's graduation. Jay Town is with us to wrap this up. But more importantly, I think, to look forward to the closing arguments. You know, how much do they matter? He's got a lot, hundreds of cases or more of the closing argument, bringing it all home. And just sitting here without his expertise, I told you one of the lead things I would engage in, which is, it's brag. Michael Cohen is just this vessel here. They tried to play you. They tried to get this past you. You're smart New Yorkers. You can see through this. You don't want the world to be, as this, goes forward, seeing you as duped here, that anything actually happened here. Let's go to Jay Town on Talk Radio 1210. So, Jay, welcome back. And how important is the closing argument? Maybe you have one where you think you turned the tide, that it's that important.
Yeah, I think that, and hi, Dom. Good to be with you again. I think that, and I've had cases where what we refer to as prosecutors anyway, as arguments cases, right? Where there's a lot of pieces, puzzle pieces, maybe it's a document intensive case. And you really have to, in your summation and your closing arguments, you really got to put all those pieces together for the jury. And I would say that for the prosecutors in Manhattan, it's an argument case at this point. I mean, honestly, if Judge Merchan had any, sense about him or guts about him at all, when the defense moves for a directed verdict on Monday or Tuesday, whenever that happens, without even the defense having to put on a case, the judge should dismiss this nonsense. I mean, look. There's not been evidence beyond a reasonable doubt of any element of any crime. And the conduct that the state or New York is focused on, rather, for almost this entirety of the entire trial, to include their opening statements, is legal conduct. Stormy Daniels got paid money for an NDA. Well, so? She was paid directly out of Donald Trump's personal account. Okay. I mean, tell me where the law has been broken here. And Weisselberg and Cohen got together in these uncorroborated series of conversations. No doubt they talked at some point because Weisselberg directed Tarasov to start sending $35,000 checks. But there's no evidence. Weisselberg said, well, yeah, this is how we get around campaign finance laws, or let's make a false entry to hide it. I mean, there's nothing that suggests any of that other than Michael Cohen. And I know you want to talk about him, but back to your point about closings. I really feel like the defense did a great job all throughout the trial to cast reasonable doubt on all those elements for all of the crimes that could be alleged here.
Yeah, and what I was saying as an emotional argument, because, Jay, I don't know, you may see this differently. I don't see them being able to acquit simply because they got to go back home. Some of them have antagonism toward Trump. But I'm happy to say that more, I think, will hold out, support each other when this comes down, and it's going to be impossible almost to get something guilty here. They're not going to go for it. They're going to be strengthened in numbers. And if you want to be on the team of people who were not, I would be going after Bragg here too, in the grand summation, that Michael Cohen, look at him, and this DEA was so determined to just make an attempt at getting Trump, go through what prosecutors do. I know you're not allowed to quote coach people, but you go through.
You prep them.
Yeah, you vet them and you go through their story so that pretty much. I mean, the first thing I remember in law school, you don't ask a question you don't know an answer to. Did they not know what would happen? Are they that ill-equipped that they thought they would get past the Schiller stuff and that somehow or another he would be able to escape this and convince us that he wasn't talking about the 14-year-old and all that? He was going to give the ultimate thing here to Trump, that this is a done deal. That's amazing to me that they tried to do it.
The short answer is yes, they are that short-sighted. And Dom, I'll tell you this, the exhibit with the text messages from, between Schiller and Cohen on the one call that he pointed to in October, that was right around the time that Stormy Daniels got paid. He said, that's the call where I talked to the president and I told him everything there was to know about the NDA and the payment to Stormy Daniels. Well, it turns out, and I'm not sure, but this was a defense exhibit, not a state exhibit, these text messages. I think that they took Schilling's phone to Celebrite. Celebrite's for your listeners, is a company that can sort of get the cookies or the sort of the layers of information that you thought you deleted from your device, and they can pull that back out. Well, they were able to do that, I think, on Schilling's phone. And lo and behold, here are these text messages. I mean, they had this thing set up. And this is, I think, your point about going after Bragg. Because when they had Cohen on the stand for a day, right, or whatever it was, and, yes, ma'am. Oh, yes, ma'am. Oh, I did lie that time, but that's because I was loyal to Mr. Trump. And he had this sort of, soft voice about him, very calm. CNN just was lapping themselves on the back of the neck that how wonderful Cohen was doing. He's truly a reformed person. And then Todd Blanche gets up there and, okay, well, we're going to run through all these lies again. And people are like, well, that's not very effective. We already know he's a liar, but I guess he has to do it. But then what he does is he says, okay, you lied here. You were under oath, right? Yes, sir, I was. What about here? Under oath? Yes. Did you swear the statement was true while you're under oath? Yes, I did. And then in his same soft voice, right? Very in control. I'm a reformed man. All right, let's play your podcast from a week ago. Donald Trump is the blah, blah, blah expletive.
Yes.
Yeah. Right. And the jury's sitting there thinking, okay, that's not the guy that's been sitting in this courtroom. I don't know Michael Cohen, but he seems like a decent guy that just got, caught up in a thing. No, this is him just a couple of weeks ago during this trial saying all these things in a bombastic way. And so the jury's thinking, okay, maybe this guy is, acting. Maybe he was over prepared by the prosecution. And then they get to that one phone call, that big moment where the whole conspiracy just blows up in Donald Trump's face, right? And it turns out he was lying. And when you lie to it's one thing if you lie to Congress or you lie to whoever out on the street, right? You come into court and have to admit you lied, which he did. But he lied to that jury 2 days ago. Not a month ago, not in 2018.
Exactly. That's
days ago.
Yeah, that's the vibe, particularly, Jay, with New Yorkers. I could say here in Philadelphia, but they pride themselves even more. There's a touch of arrogance. If you were down in Alabama, you would do it in a different way. They think you're blank. You know what I mean? A city slicker, whatever this guy Cohen is. Yeah, brag. They're laughing about this. They think they can put it over on you. And I'm hoping that would shake another person or two loose. So, Jay, if you had to guess based on all this, do you see out of the three choices? I know this is hard. Acquittal, guilty, or as I do, mistrial, but a strong mistrial, 3, 4, maybe even more people just not going to go along. What do you think happens?
So when you say mistrial, you're talking about a hung jury, of course, right?
Yes,
and
yes.
Yep. And so I would say that if I had to bet on those three, boxes, right? Like we're playing some kind of Trump roulette here, I would put my money, if I could only bet on one, on the hung jury. But here's the thing about less than 1% chance they convict him. There's never a guarantee either way. So I'm not just going to go against everything I've said my entire career as prosecutor. But what I'll tell you is that these people have to go home. And when we started this trial out, and I agree with you, it's like these people live in circles where, everyone hates Trump and everybody, is going to say, I can't believe you cut him loose. Right. He's the devil. He's the worst thing since, Hades. But after a month of this, there's no way for a reasonable person that's been following any of the coverage of this case to say to themselves, I don't understand how you acquitted him. I think it would be more at this point. How could you have convicted him?
Right.
You're a dishonorable person without integrity. You didn't have reasonable doubt about the whole case hinges. The fulcrum of it is Michael Cohen. And you didn't have any doubt about, you'd have to believe everything Michael Cohen told you in order to convict Trump. And you did. Let me sell you a bridge just over here in Brooklyn.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly. I want to hit them. And Jay, I guess sometimes, you can't find when Johnny Cochran, if it doesn't fit, you have to acquit. You're looking for something to send them home with when they get out of this, that they can say, if somebody, you let Donald Trump, democracy's going to die, something they can utter back that just summarizes this whole thing. That's artistry, genius. I'm sure you were sitting there getting ready for this and some thought occurred to you, a phrase or line of it. And you went, yes, that's it. Sometimes it may not come to you.
Yeah, thus far, I don't know that the defense team has been, so pithy.
Yeah.
But I will say there was sort of a my cousin Vinny moment where he said, you didn't talk to Donald Trump that night. Just admit it. We know. Right. And it was that sort of moment where, Vinny had the expert on tires on the stand. Right. And it all blew up because they put on, his girlfriend or whatever.
Yeah.
My point is, I think that this jury could go home if they acquitted Donald Trump and say due process is just as important as any other virtue that you are throwing in my face right now, democracy or the election or the future of the country or whatever. Due process is the bedrock principle of this country, that you can't take my property without it. That's really why we left the Brits, right? That we wanted our own freedom of religion. We wanted our freedom. And so, you know what? I'm not going to take this man's freedom away without the state meeting its burden. And they can't even see the burden of proof from where the state's case is standing right now. Right?
Exactly.
It does take courage to acquit. But I honestly think in this case, they'd have a hard time explaining to their neighbors or their law partners or their business people or customers, how did you convict the guy? Are you just a sham person that just wasn't there, wasn't listening?
Yeah. My only regret is it's not on TV to see this moment with Cohen. And I think that would, ratchet up the pressure.
Oh.
Hey, Jay, thank you so much for coming back on today. And absolutely, we want to talk next week. Is this, do you think, who's the defense going to call as witnesses? Do you think they'll put on any?
It's tough. I mean, look, at this point, it's 2 or 3 people, right? They have an expert on campaign finance laws.
Right.
They have Bob Costello, who's willing to testify. Right. Bob's been all over the news. He's Cohen's former lawyer that Cohen told him all these lies. And I suppose you could put on Schilling to say, yeah, he called me that night. President wasn't even near me. All right, thanks. You know, that's now, but I don't even know that that's necessary because it opens the door to, well, when did he call and he was there and they talked? And did they talk about Stormy Daniels? And, you know, I don't know if you want to even get into that at that point. Look, if the judge had any courage at all, this case would be dismissed on Tuesday.
I couldn't agree more. Hey, Jay, thank you. Have a nice weekend.
Thanks, Dom.
Take care.
You too, bud.
Jay Town, great find for us during all of this stuff. All right, your reaction at 855-839-1210. That's how you get in. Don't forget the side question. Let's get one on the board. I don't know, Dan, any good ones on Twitter? Is this so hard today? Hit us with a TV show, a film, or a song with a prominent number, a number in the title. Okay, it's all that we need. Got any to report that we might...
do you not see them up there? There's a couple that have rung in.
Nothing.
So
something's wrong on my screen here. It's invisible.
Sorry, let's go to Richard in Summerdale. Richard's got a great answer.
Richard, welcome in.
Yeah, hi. Before I get to that, I don't know if you heard the news, but they finally revealed the message sent to the children by Our Lady of Fatima. And it came out today that she predicted that as long as the Democrats are in charge, you'll never be able to pump your gas in New Jersey.
You've been sitting on that line for like 50 years, going Lady of Fatima joke here. Pretty good.
Anyway, my number is 24 with Kiefer Sutherland, Jack Bauer.
Yes. I wish Jim were on today. That was particularly that first year. 24 is a very good one. Yeah, Dan, I can't. Thank you, Richard. I don't see anything up here. I don't know what's going to see. Visible ink here. Yeah. 855-839-1210. That's how you get on board. More calls coming up at 2:00. The Philadelphia police apparently are seeing some pretty good recruiting numbers. What in the world could that be due to? Well, Jim Kenney, Daniel Outlaw, we're going to talk with their head of recruiting around that. You get in at 855-839-1210.
How can you provide a safe space to have conversations about mental health? Join us this weekend for Being There for Your Community, part of the I'm Listening Talk Away the Dark limited series with Odyssey and the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention. Simply being there to listen can have positive, lasting effects. For the full show and more stories like this, download the I'm Listening Talk Away the Dark podcast on the Odyssey app or visit imlistening.org.
Listen Sunday morning at 6 on Talk Radio 1210 WPHT.
This is Larry Steinitz with Investor Schooling. Do you know when the best time to buy investment properties is? It's now. It's always now. You just need to learn how to buy them correctly. Go to investorschooling.com and sign up for a complimentary class this Thursday night and learn how to buy investment properties and make money every time. That's right. That's what we teach. We teach how to buy investment properties and make money every time. Go to investorschooling.com and RSVP right now. Take a class this Thursday night at 7 o'clock. That's investorschooling.com. This is Larry Steinitz with Investor Schooling. Don't go through life ignorant about how to become a millionaire. Learn how to invest in real estate, the stock market, precious metals, and learn from an expert. At Investor Schooling, we teach these things and more. We only provide education, and we will teach you how to leverage real estate, how to leverage the stock market, and how to leverage precious metals to make more money than you've ever made before. Go to investorschooling.com and take a complimentary class this Thursday. We will see you there, investorschooling.com. That's investorschooling.com.
At Cherry Hill Volvo, we have absolutely incredible offers and a plethora of both new and certified Volvos from which to choose. We are eager to offer amazingly competitive prices, plus an additional $1,000 Costco discount on all new Cherry Hill Volvos. When leasing or purchasing a new or certified Cherry Hill Volvo, you become a valued part of our team. Join Cherry Hill Volvo for the pricing and attention you deserve. I am Judith Krupnick, president of Cherry Hill Volvo. Volvo.
Splash into savings this Memorial Day with Spring Dance Hot Tubs. Soak in the relaxation and save big on new Hot Spring and Caldera Hot Tubs and save up to $4,000. Plus, when you buy a new Endless Pool Swim Spa, receive a free Aqua Bike and Exercise Kit, a $2,000 value. Looking to upgrade? Your hot tub could be worth up to $4,000. Hurry into Spring Dance Hot Tubs in Jameson, Exton, or in Plymouth Meeting in PA or in Marlton, New Jersey, and upgrade your backyard this summer. Visit us online at springdancehot.com for more details. Don't miss out on these incredible savings.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-688-6641. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-688-6641. That's 800-688-6641. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, did you know there's a generic form of Viagra that works just the same but is 95% cheaper? And you can get it online at hims.com/joy. Through Hims, you'll get a free medical consultation to determine the ED medication that's best for you. Discreet shipping if prescribed, a 100% online process, and a range of treatment options, including trusted generic alternatives to the name brands, at up to 95% off. ED is personal, and at Hims, so is treating it. Just go to hims.com/joy and get connected to a licensed medical provider online for free with zero copay, no expensive appointments, and no awkward face-to-face conversations. To start your free online visit, you need to go to this exclusive address, hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy for your free online visit. HIMS.com/JOY.
Talk Radio 1210, WPHT. Free speech lives here.
All right, Tom Giordano Show. Let's go to the callers. Joe in Westchester. Joe, you're on Talk Radio 1210. Afternoon, Joe.
Yeah, good afternoon, Tom. Great show as usual. I have a quick comment about the trial. I mean, there are two lawyers on the jury, right?
Yes.
I mean, that's what I keep hearing. Now, I don't know what kind of lawyers they are or anything, but I think they'd be ashamed to not hold out at least, let alone, vote guilty, because every good lawyer in the country, right, is saying what a sham this trial is, right? So I think it would hurt their career.
So you're saying
they would hold out.
They'd hold out and say reasonable doubt has happened. Is that what you mean?
I would think so, right? If they're worth their, pissing their balls
Well,
down
look, I would agree with you, but if they're attorneys, I don't know if one's retired, one's active. They might be worried if it comes out that they voted to not convict Trump, that it could hurt them. So, but Joe,
no, it's possible.
Yeah,
but
I take your point. Yeah, but from what I can tell, yesterday this was so devastating, not just about Cohen, but about Bragg and this whole deal of how they try to hatch this. That
I agree with all of that.
Yeah,
I mean,
three or four people
thing.
are going to hold out, and you're going to see a hung jury. Joe, what is
I believe that too.
What's the number?
My answer?
Yes.
Well, no one said it yet. 1776, which was a Broadway musical comedy, as you're aware, I'm sure, but it was a film too. And it was set into my hometown, Philadelphia.
That's a good one. That is a very good one. Let's go to Dennis in Cherry Hill. We got a musical selection. All right, Dennis, what's yours?
Hey, Dom. I'm looking at 2 Out of 3 Ain't Bad by Meatloaf.
Yeah, why is that one? Why did you choose that?
I chose it because I've been listening to a lot of Meatloaf lately. I've been getting my daughter into it. These 23-year-old kids, they have no taste in music, so we're going to correct that.
All right, there you go. We'll put you down for that one. All right, we'll take more calls on this coming up. That's Side Question today. In addition to that, we're going to check in with the Philadelphia Police Captain John Walker. Apparently, we're told recruiting of police is going pretty well. He'll give you the details. If it is, that says something that it can be done, and we're seeing a turn here. That's straight ahead. And Dom's Money Melody, Talk Radio 1210.
Inflation has taken our economy by storm. According to government statistics, since 2021, the average investor paid over $11,000 extra per year. Political unrest and supply chain issues continue to push the prices of goods and services higher, forcing 40% of retirees to return to the workforce, according to a study by Atticus Law Firm. That's why the team at Crash Proof Retirement tailors each and every Crash Proof Retirement system with guaranteed inflation fighters that can increase your income up to 35% to cover rising costs without depleting your nest egg. Discover how our proprietary inflation fighters can protect your retirement lifestyle, documented in a legally binding recorded financial meeting. Schedule an appointment or register for the next Crash Proof Retirement educational event at the William Penn Inn on Tuesday, June 11th. 800-722-9728 or crashproofretirement.com.
Tired of your old kitchen or bathroom? You need to give my friends at Kitchen Magic a call. They offer no shortage of solutions for any room in your home. With a new vanity and a tub shower conversion, you'll love that new bathroom. Plus, an industry-leading warranty, a 10-year recipient of Lehigh Valley's top workplaces. Right now, they're offering 12 months, no payments, no interest financing, plus 10% off your remodel. Get your free in-home consultation today. KitchenMagic.com. KitchenMagic.com. Tell them Dawn sent you.
When I got sick, I didn't just need a transplant. I needed a heart and a kidney transplant. And my Jefferson Health team didn't just find me a donor. They took care of me as a patient and a person.
At Jefferson Health, we do not compromise. We are more than 12,000 caregivers who push beyond what's possible. We are healthcare rooted in care. Jefferson Health, uncompromising care.
Toyota is proud to present the 97th Stotesbury Cup Regatta on the Schuylkill River May 17th and 18th. Enjoy the Toyota experience in Stotesbury Village near the grandstand finish line, where the 2024 Toyota lineup will be on display. Come and visit the world's oldest and largest high school rowing competition along the Schuylkill River and see a variety of 2024 Toyota trucks at the Athletes Village near the launching dock. See you at the regatta. Toyota, let's go places.
See Joe Conklin and the City Rhythm Orchestra in a tribute to Philly sports fans at Wildwood Catholic Academy in North Wildwood and at the Ocean City Music Pier in Ocean City, New Jersey.
Alan Iverson, Cole Hamels, Joel Embiid.
My dad set this up. This was actually a gift to us to bring us all together, come see Joe and relive all the Philadelphia history. Come see it. It's amazing.
That's Joe Conklin and the City Rhythm Orchestra at Wildwood Catholic on June 29th and the Boardwalk in Ocean City, New Jersey on July 13th. For tickets, go to joeconklin.com.
JoeConklin.com.
La 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 la. Oops.
Ever had your singing lessons cut short by icy water?
Oh, I'm sorry, honey.
Say goodbye to those cold notes with Navien tankless water heaters. With Navien, you'll hit all the right notes without the surprise chill. So keep singing and let Navien keep the hot water flowing. And get ready for the encore when you get your utility bill.
La 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 la.
Navien tankless water heaters. Visit tanklessmadesimple.com.
Life insurance. Why are you putting it off? Can't afford it? Too much hassle? Think you don't need it? There's lots of excuses for putting off life insurance. But if you weren't there, who would pay the mortgage and other bills? With Ethos, you could be covered in 10 minutes and boom, family protected. Ethos, fast and easy online term life insurance. Up to $2 million in coverage with no medical exam. Some policies as low as $1 a day. Answer a few health questions and get your free quote at getethos.com. That's getethos.com.
Philadelphia's Talk Radio 1210 WPHT, WPHT HD, WOGL HD3, Philadelphia. From the Cherry Hill Volvo Studios, where relationships matter. Always live on the free Odyssey app. It's Dom time. Now, Dom Giordano.
All right, it is Dom time. You know how thrilled I am with Mayor Sherelle Parker, the new police commissioner, who's going to be on the show in June, we believe, for an hour. in studio. But we're starting to hear that the Philadelphia police are finding more recruits. And this is a problem that we've talked about, not just in Philadelphia, across the country for the last 3 to 5 years, the difficulties of this, given some of the disincentives out there, even though in Philadelphia they're trying to add incentives. Joining us is the person that's the point person on this critical issue, Police Captain John Walker, Philadelphia Police Captain John Walker, on Talk Radio 1210. Captain, I think we've spoken over the years. Thank you. Thanks for coming on today.
Good morning, Dom. How you doing today? Good to talk to you again.
Yeah, very well. And particularly this week, Law Enforcement Week, it's a good time to talk. So what progress are you seeing in recruiting this year?
Listen, we're very excited. Again, as you talked earlier about the mayor and the new police commissioner coming here, the excitement, the energy, most importantly, the support they provided to us has been overwhelming, and it's led to positive gains for the police department over the years. It's been no secret, especially with the pandemic, COVID recovery, retirements, morale, where it was. We had some strong losses. We're over 1,200 officers down at this point. But we've been working real hard with the new commissioner. He's been, we all know he's brilliant, he's bright, he's creative, he's, pushes through the community very well. And those are the type of people that we're now focusing on. And I also have to give credit to the city council. At the end of last year, they provided some funds to us that gave us the opportunity to use some marketing out there to get it out there, the needs that we have, to get to a bigger audience that we're looking for.
So are you seeing quality of recruits go up or numbers? How about the numbers? Are you replacing the cops that are leaving now?
So our struggle is obviously in the pandemic and the Floyd and the COVID recovery stuff. We lost a lot of officers that were coming into the drop program this year and over these next 4. So although we are seeing, last year we saw a 66% improvement of people in the academy. This year we're projecting about 167% improvement into the academy. And again, we know we have great listeners out here who are thinking about joining. It's a great opportunity, and we ask them to go to joinphillypd.com, our webpage, to look at that opportunity.
Joinphillypd.com. Now, some of the disincentives, I think, gradually have been the ones on paper I'm talking about. What's the requirement now about residency?
So coming into the academy, you have a year and a half to move into the city after you're hired. So once hired in the police academy, you have 1.5 years to move into the city. And then after 5 years, you have the ability to move out to anywhere in the state of Pennsylvania.
So I forgot about that second part. So the commitment is give us this period of time here. Maybe you would want to live in Philadelphia. And as long as you live in Pennsylvania after that period of time, it's okay. How about salary, benefits, and all that? What's being done on that front?
So right now, we have a $2,000 hire bonuses to sign up. We're in the process of now working with the city of Philadelphia, and that's going to change. It's going to be about 20% of that salary will be your bonus. The great thing about the police department right now is we have 6 weeks paid parental leave, paid holiday vacation sick leave, comprehensive medical, dental, and optical. And again, we got to thank the FOP for that. We have one of the best medical plans in the country with no pay out of pocket other than slight co-pays. One of the good things about this department, we talk about education all the time. And, former Commissioner Timoney, when he arrived here, he pushed a lot of us to get education. Commissioner Bethel and myself both worked our way into master's degrees, and we didn't have education prior to coming on the job. But we have over 10 sworn officers that have PhDs at this point. Numerous people like the commissioner and myself that have master's degrees, bachelor degrees, and you can come on this job with a high school diploma. But we have opportunities for tuition reimbursement with schools that we're partnered with. But also, again, thanking the FOP, they were able to get a payment of almost $500,000 annually, where if you're going to school, you could submit a request for additional funds depending on the number of people going there. So that money's broken up 3 times per year, and the number of people going in those winter, summer, or fall semesters, it's split evenly. So you could get as much as full payment for your courses or maybe half paid. So it's a great opportunity. Again, I think the thing is the education in this department. There's a lot of people out there who are thinking about careers that they have now. They may not be excited with it. They may not be enjoying it. And this is an opportunity to join a department that's heading in the right direction. I think when we look at where Commissioner Bethel is looking to bring this department with technology, the opportunities to work in a community policing environment with you one-on-one in these communities on foot beats and bike patrols. And then we have 55 different work units in this police department. So you can go anywhere from patrol officer into investigations, into supervisory ranks. You can join our press information officer. We have graphic artists. We have people who have diving degrees. We have people who fly our helicopters for us. They're all sworn police officers. So there's endless opportunities for you. But I think the most important is the reason I joined this job, and that's to help people. And I think every day you wake up, you have an opportunity to help somebody. And we know the generation today wants to be helpers, and they want to feel satisfied in what they do. And there's not one day that I've come to this job in 34 years where I didn't feel that I helped somebody get out of a difficult situation and give them an opportunity to move their life forward.
Talking with Captain John Walker of the Philadelphia Police. So you mentioned COVID. We know how that would depress things, but then George Floyd summer and the backlash to fund and all that. So what's the advertising campaign? Because things are better than over the years for cops, John, just as you said, Captain. Education, benefits, pay, all those have gotten better. But the sticking point was a lot of antagonism toward police. So what's your pitch, your message? How do you drive those numbers, which seems, as you said, 167% approval, you think, in the recruiting class coming in? What is it that has turned that around?
I think a lot of it is explaining who we are, right? The big thing about policing is I think it's sometimes misunderstood. And what happened during Floyd and what's happened over the years is everybody looks at policing as an opportunity to arrest people, or we get involved in these critical incidents and these shootings, and that's all we do. 95 to 98% of your day is about helping people. And I think that's why we're working on a rebranding strategy at this point with Commissioner Bethel. That's coming through, and looking at allowing people to understand who we are, that we're out here to provide service to people. We're here to be pillars in communities to help people. And I think that message is getting out there that, with 60 different ethnic groups in this city, getting out there with the media and with the marketing campaign that council funded for us, we're able to explain our message a little bit better, that people are seeing what they want to be. And if you see it, you can be it. And I think that's why we're getting people to join. And again, I think it's no secret Commissioner Bethel's attitude and where he came from. I mean, he came from West Philly. I'm from Southwest Philly, not too far away from each other. He went to Bartram, I went to West Catholic. We joke about that all the time. But the kids who came from neighborhoods that were depressed and had opportunities to educate themselves and move into positions where they're actually helping people in this city is why I think people are seeing what they believe they want to be and taking the opportunity. And again, the economy right now, the way it is, I mean, we know that 70% of people are living week to week. We know jobs are not out there the way they were with the salaries that people want. We know that lifestyles here in Philadelphia, I think that's one thing we always got to talk to is, the lifestyle in Philly. When you look at the Delaware Avenue Trail for biking and running, you look at Schuylkill, you look at the Schuylkill trails, you look at the arts and entertainment, the restaurants, and all the things you could do here. And I think we're finding our way now as crime is going down, and you got a mayor and a commissioner who supports their police department as long as we're doing it in a constitutional way. And we believe in that. We believe that constitutionality is where it has to be in policing. And again, we're not perfect. We're never going to be perfect. But we need people in here to help us share their voice in the communities that they represent so that we can provide the best service we can to the citizens of the city.
Well, I'm thrilled to hear it, as you probably can tell, Captain. Where do people go again to initial contact with you? What do they do?
Yeah, Dom. So they can go to joinphillypd.com. That's our website that shows all the opportunity there. Our next campaign is June 24th through July 21st, where you can actually apply. 2 weeks after that, we'll hold our orientation, where you go into an orientation for a reading and a physical agility exam, and then move through the 9 steps of process to be hired. So our next academy class will start on June 24th. We got one going. So one of the process changes we made is we got classes going in every 6 weeks now. So every 6 weeks we're putting classes in, and albeit they're a little bit smaller than we're accustomed to in the past, it gives us more flexibility. We have a structured training program now, but that also gives Commissioner Bethel, as the times of the years come, where he knows every 6 weeks he has classes coming out where he can surge them into areas where we could be having problems or surge them in the areas where we need foot beats or visibility. So we have a good plan moving forward. But joinphillypd.com is our website. We know we got great people in this city. We got excellent opportunities here. And as the mayor said, we want to be the safest city, the cleanest, greenest with opportunity. And the police department fills two of those, right? We want people to come in to make the city safer, but it's also a great opportunity for people to move into an economic opportunity that can support their lives and support their families' lives.
Absolutely. Captain, have a great weekend. Do come back. Thank you.
Thank you, Don.
All right, Captain John Walker here. I thought that was, Dan and I, when we talked about it, a very positive thing that, and I won't drag him into it, but the turn of a new administration, et cetera, some of these reforms, they are actually recruiting police. How many times have we talked about that? Was a great subject. What the hell's going on here? They got 4 people in a class and 2 of them go home at lunchtime. It's changing. All right, so we're thrilled. Sometime in June, we're going to be bringing you the police commissioner in a big interview. 855-839-1210. You get in. Right now, it is time for...
It's Dom's Money Melody.
All right, today, if you win, we're playing for a pair of tickets to the Philadelphia Eagles Women's Football Festival, May 19th, Lincoln Financial Field, the ultimate Eagles event with a focus on women, football, and fun. This year's Women's Football Festival will kick off with a welcome address from Eagles quarterback Jalen Hurts. For more information, visit PhiladelphiaEagles.com/Women's Fest. Dan?
Don, today we're doing another cover artist. This time of a great song by the Commodores' Lionel Richie, 3 Times a Lady. And Dom, today's cover artist has a tie to Philadelphia that many may not be aware of. So back when he was in high school, he was batting an average of .450 when he was offered a contract by the Philadelphia Phillies. He was then drafted to the U.S. Army. There, he began singing in a band, and when he came back from the Army, he was offered that contract again by the Phillies, turned down the Phillies, and went on to top the Billboard charts 40 times in his career, Dom. So today's cover artist, a very well-known guy who turned down a contract from the Phillies, good baseball player. Who is it, Dom, singing today's song? Take a listen.
Why? 3 times a lady, and I love you. You're once, twice, 3 times a lady, and I love you.
Pretty unique style, to put it mildly. Any other clue, Dan, or we'll take some calls?
You had a good one. I liked your clue. What was that you said?
Pre-Elvis.
Pre-Elvis.
Kind of an Elvis.
Elvis
Pre-Elvis.
before the Elvis.
Yeah, yes, exactly. All right, 855-839-1210. That will get you in. Hit us with that. You're off to the Philadelphia Eagles Women's Fest. AT&T and Verizon Wireless. All you have to do is just push pound 1210.
To live over
Kale and Company, weekday mornings 6 till 10.
The ride is July 21st.
Yeah.
I believe we will hit 20 grand before the 4th of July
Wow.
holiday. This might happen by Father's Day, to be honest. Last year, once I did the ride and I finished it, I wanted to be on the air the next day to brag and prove that I could do it. Now that I've done that, I think I'm going to stay down in Atlantic City this year and just crash for the night at a hotel.
Are you?
Yeah, I might take a day off the next day.
It ends in Atlantic City. Maybe there's an AC sponsorship. You could spend the night and broadcast from there.
We could broadcast in a
just-
casino at 6 a.m.
You're just filled with ideas today.
So I'll be at the sales meeting next Tuesday.
Start your day with Kale and Company, weekday mornings 6 till 10 on Talk Radio 1210, WPHT, and the free Odyssey app.
I'm still going for it, even with higher stroke risk from atrial fibrillation and a regular heartbeat not caused by a heart valve problem. Over a 3-year study, Eliquis apixaban tablets reduce stroke risk better than warfarin. And over 97% of Eliquis patients did not experience a stroke. A first stroke occurred in 2.9% of warfarin patients versus 2.3% of Eliquis patients.
Don't stop taking prescription Eliquis without asking your doctor. It may increase your stroke risk. Eliquis can cause serious and in rare cases fatal bleeding. Don't take Eliquis if you have an artificial heart valve, abnormal bleeding, or antiphospholipid syndrome. While taking, you may bruise more easily or take longer for bleeding to stop. A spinal injection while on Eliquis increases risk of blood clots, which may cause paralysis, the inability to move. Get medical help right away for unexpected bleeding, unusual bruising, or tingling, numbness, or muscle weakness. Medications such as aspirin products, NSAIDs, SSRIs, SNRIs, and blood thinners may increase bleeding risk. Tell your doctor about all planned medical or dental procedures. Learn more at Eliquis.com or call 1-855-ELIQUIS.
Virtua Health, real patients, real doctors, real complex cases. Take one.
Open heart surgery, tear in my aorta.
The most complex cases come to us at Virtua Health.
I'm sure I wouldn't have been here without you.
Being a 45-year-old, not being able to walk up one flight of stairs, I had no idea I was in heart failure.
Virtua is a premier heart failure center in South Jersey.
They changed my life. It's truly a blessing.
Want to follow our stories? Go to virtua.org. Virtua Health. Here for good.
The IRS is the most powerful collection agency on earth. And if you owe back taxes, the news isn't good. The IRS is raising the interest rate it charges on unpaid taxes, and further rate hikes are expected. Most people don't know it, but the IRS adds interest charges to your tax debts daily. So if you owe the IRS today, you'll owe even more tomorrow. And it doesn't stop until you get right with the IRS. The good news is getting right can start with one phone call to Optima Tax Relief, America's #1 tax relief firm. Optima's tax professionals specialize in the Fresh Start Initiative, a powerful IRS program that can save you thousands if you qualify. In fact, the experts at Optima have resolved over $1 billion in tax debt for their clients. Call now for a free consultation.
Call 800-354-2840. 800-354-2840. 800-354-2840.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
You know your customers. Ralph likes his coffee black on Fridays, but Mondays he takes a little cream. Jennifer comes in every 3 years when her lease is up to get the newer and better model. And for some reason, pepperoni pizza sells like crazy on Friday nights. Who knew? At Odyssey, we have the expertise to get your media plan done right. With ads like you're hearing right now, to targeted social media campaigns, search engine optimization, and location-based advertising. Advertise with Odyssey and help us grow your business. Visit ads.odyssey.com.
Calling on Blackwood to follow 1210 WPHT on the free Odyssey app. Download it now.
It's the Money Melody.
Where's all the money gone?
Show me the money.
All right. Who is singing this? Phillies player. Could have been a Phillies player. Pre-Elvis, before Elvis. Let's hear the clue.
And now that we've come to the end of our rainbow, there's something I must say out loud.
Such a boring song.
3 times.
Well done this way. I've heard it done a little bit more up tempo. I don't get the 1, 2, 3 thing in the song. It's kind of a phony.
Once, twice, 3
Yeah, it's kind of a phony. Lenny and Philly. Lenny, who's doing that song?
That is Conway Twitty.
Absolutely. All right. Yeah, we thought people wouldn't know Conway. I didn't know the Phillies part of it, Dan.
No?
Did you remember the year approximately? When was he trying
So he was born in 33, and this is coming out of high school. So let's say he was
50s.
18. Yeah, so around 51.
Okay. Phillies won.
And he served in the Far East.
Phillies were in the World Series in 1950.
Really? Yeah,
Yankees against Yankees. Yeah. So they were a pretty good team.
Yeah.
All right.
Conway Twitty, congratulations.
All right. So coming to your calls on the side question. One other quick thing. When I saw this earlier, this is worse than I thought. We let off the show today. We're talking about several things, including the phone call that we just heard with Jay Town, how consequential that's going to be, I believe. If Trump is found guilty on this is just almost impossible. And I'm telling you honestly, not in a partisan sense, not lawfare and all that. Just I'm looking at the probabilities. And the probability grows stronger every day to me that we're seeing an increasing number of people in this jury probably that are going to say, no, you're not moving me off this. There's no compromise. This is a sham. Maybe 2, 3, or 4 people. You get that critical number, it's going to be a hung jury. And that's all that's needed. Finding him guilty, I don't know which one now. J-Town, look, he's, surrogate and all. I still think finding him innocent is still more of a long shot than finding him guilty, but it's getting closer. The other thing we've been talking about, though, and I just saw this in more context, is the kicker, the Kansas City kicker, the field goal kicker. We played you one of the daughter of the owner of the Chiefs, and I told you that the Missouri Attorney General is now involved. The guy who spoke at Benedictine College last week, very religious Catholic. I couldn't agree with him more about what he said about Biden. That's spot on. And as far as how he couched it about his wife staying at home and women staying at home, that's the highest order. That is not an outrageous position. I mean, I don't think he allowed, in my view, enough space for women to be out in the workforce and still be on the home. That's just a difference of opinion. It's not outrageous. It's not misogynistic. But what happened is, I thought it was the newspaper, Dan. I read a little bit more. The Missouri Attorney General, Andrew Bailey, is going after and demanding a full slate of things. There's an order, a court order, to get to the bottom of what did the mayor know, the mayor of KC, who apparently is very progressive, when the Twitter account about this doxed the kicker and said, just to remind you, the kicker lives in, and they gave the name of the town that's a Kansas City suburb. I'm not going to say it. Wow. I mean, this, I hope we get the Attorney General on. And two, I hope he goes to the ends of the earth on this. And the reason is this type of stuff, you differ with the guy. Here he is. And Dan, I find this guy to be a clown too. I don't know. You may like him. I know he's got some standing. Is this yeah. Here is cut for Rich Eisen, who does the NFL Network, right? He's on the NFL Network. He's the prime show. Am I right? I believe he is.
I think he's still there. He's the guy that used to run the 40 in his suit.
Yeah. But I thought he was the prime guy on NFL Network, particularly a morning show. Here's Eisen talking about the kicker, Butker, and what he said at Benedictine College.
You're great at so many things. And the idea that somebody like you could be sitting in a commencement ceremony, or our daughter could be sitting there, and somebody gets up and says that sort of thing to somebody like yourself or your daughter, it's just outrageous. It's completely outrageous. And I know you've been having your fun with it throughout this program. But, and for those who basically are saying, he has his right to say, of course he has his right to say whatever he wants to say. And that, that it might be his belief system. But to say that people who are about to receive their diplomas are being lied to diabolically because they are being told that some title that awaits them through their hard work isn't as rewarding as sitting at home and being a mother or being a homemaker. And you have many moments that you cherish as being a mom, but you are also a professional, and you are the greatest multitasker I know anywhere. And the way that you hold up our family, I can't believe I'm turning this into a testimonial right now, but it's the truth. The way that you hold up our family and hold your own as a professional.
All right, that's it. All right. Now, I've seen, and Dan read from a column early on of people going after this guy. I've actually seen language here. They tripped himself up with their own language. I'm not saying Eisen said it there, but there are people out there saying, how can this guy attack women versus these women sitting at home? They're not sitting at home, okay? Now, Do I think it's diabolical? This was carefully chosen by, no. We could pick at this what he did. But the overreaction to this of guys up and down the line here, politically correct to this guy. And I think they're frustrated because they can't get at him. He is one of the better kickers, at least on paper. I mean, I'd have to analyze who the top 5 are and all this. He seems to be pretty rock solid. And with kickers, that's difficult. The Kansas City Chiefs, like it or not, I don't like their ownership, but they seem to be supportive of this type of thing up and down the line. Okay. So they can't get at him. The NFL jumps in and tells us with their DEI office how out of line this guy is. Yet with Kaepernick, when he does it on company time, they go along with it. Guys like Tyreek Hill, there's stories out there today comparing this guy and Tyreek Hill or any number of people. They don't say anything. And the one thing that they've jumped on here, more than the abortion stuff or more than what he said about LGBTQ, is that somehow or another he's misogynistic, he's putting women down. And again, I don't agree with the methodology or the full context of this. You can tell me if you do. I see it as a bit of a pushback. Again, we're always fighting this war. The stay-at-home moms, we don't see enough people. We don't see enough attention. We don't see enough of the ability to recognize that, how valuable that is. That's the better part of his message. Now, the language, the couching, the religiosity of it, I'm not in full agreement with that. We could go line by line, not worth it here. The bottom line, though, is just the outrage over this versus any number of sports figures that are outrageous. And then this morning, Scotty Scheffler, who is the world's #1 ranked golfer, gets into it with a cop at the country club pulling in. And Scheffler, you'll see articles over the weekend. Oh, we thought he was a Christian. We thought he was that. I just don't like him as the golf #1. That's a side thing. But I think he made a mistake here. And the cop may have been a little bit extra diligent grabbing onto the car. So there's that. But as we end the week, the NFL part of this is what jumped out at me. And this guy works at the NFL Network, at least where I think that, I guess his wife, Dan, is on the show. I'm not sure, but that's where he was before. Why do people in the sports world feel so comfortable going after this? But the avoidance of any number of public figures out there who I don't care, honestly, what they do in their private life. Go knock yourself out. I don't care. You know, we're looking at a guy, how he plays on the field, right? But to overlook that, but not overlook this guy, why? What is it about it? Even though this guy is, if they went after him and said, look at how political this guy is. You're a football player going after Biden on the abortion thing. And you know who I just amazing. Does a cat have their tongue? Here's the other people I would criticize. You know where I'm going. The bishops. Where are they? Do they never see an opportunity to weigh in on something like this? People are talking about this, including the Archbishop here. Do they have anything to say? Remember, he's Catholic, a devout Catholic. If they want to say, look, Catholic Church doesn't teach that about women when it comes to professional careers and all that, we're not emphasizing that in the manner that he did. I think that would be a good thing. They're the people that ought to be talking about this because you should be looking for an opportunity to reinforce what the faith is about. But what he said about Biden is so dead on. How does a guy cross himself at an abortion ceremony? Dan, anything? Where was that article, Dan, you had? Do you remember?
Yeah, let me pull that back up.
Yeah.
I don't have it still on my screen here, but I'll have
But
it for
that
you one
was the
sec.
type of thing I'm thinking about here. You know, in a world of sports where we have any number of questionable figures, why is this guy? I don't think anything's going to happen to him. You know, if he suddenly blows up and is not a good field goal kicker, maybe the ownership could be convinced. By the way, his jersey I don't think it's number one. I don't know what the number one jersey is right now, but his jersey is in the top 5 or so. You can imagine people are going to wear this as another sign, culture wars, that kind of thing.
All right, so that was Fast Company, was where it came from. A guy by the name of Joe Berkowitz is the one that wrote this. And quoting from the article, speaking directly to women in the attendance, the Chiefs kicker claimed that his wife's life had only truly started when she began living her vocation as a wife and a mother, when I described with joy as having embraced one of the most important titles of all, homemaker. His words suggest a desperate wish to turn back the clock from a boomer trapped in the body of a 28-year-old kicker with 94% field goal accuracy. The fact that they came so soon after this past season, when the entire league was held enthralled to a galactically successful, unmarried, childless woman in her mid-30s, does not seem like a coincidence. Reference of Taylor Swift there.
Oh, my God. Yeah, then Taylor Swift involvement in this, too. And then Gracie Hunt, the daughter, I'm looking at it again now, of the Kansas City Chiefs owner, playing pickleball in Times Square, or that's 46th Street, Fox, with Steve Ducey weighs in on this. This is how it starts. Come on, Bishop, step in when you got people's attention. What do you make of this? What does Dolan make of this? Is he too busy beating up on those people that don't want illegal immigrants?
Snooty sounding. The league has endured its fair share of outspoken players before, but most recently conspiracy monger Aaron Rodgers. But Butker is a different case. His speech was an expansive shotgun blast of anachronistic invective, and at its center was a load of patriarchal prescriptive advice aimed directly at half the world's population. The fact that a marginally high-profile public figure thought an appropriate message for the occasion is a terrifying thought to many.
You knew it. The guy, I didn't even have to think about it, brings Aaron Rodgers into it. So Aaron Rodgers and this guy are the worst guys in the NFL. And you may not agree with it. You may think Aaron Rodgers is playing it too cute with various things. Okay. But these are the worst versus any number of convenient targets. All right. The NFL playoffs have tipped off, but it's not too late to get in. What did you find?
No, it's the NBA playoffs, right?
Oh, yeah, well, right. That's
not NFL playoffs.
You're right. The NBA, thank God, not the NFL playoffs. The NBA playoffs have tipped off. It's not too late to get in on the action with FanDuel in partnership with Valley Forge Casino, because right now, new customers get $150 in bonus bets with any winning $5 bet. Now, that's $150 to use on same-game parlays, live bets, championship futures, and a lot more. And there's no better place to bet on all that playoff action than America's #1 sportsbook. Just go to FanDuel.com/Dom, D-O-M, to get started. FanDuel Sportsbook is the official partner of 1210 WPHT. FanDuel, official sports betting partner of the NBA. You have to be 21 plus. Present in Pennsylvania. First online real money wager only. $10 first deposit required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets, which expire 7 days after receipt. Gambling problem? 1-800-GAMBLER.
We'll get down to 57 overnight. For tomorrow, high 68. Possibility of some showers during the day. And then on Sunday, mostly cloudy but warmer, high 74. Back up to almost 80 by Monday, partly cloudy, and more sunshine by Tuesday, high 84.
Weather sponsored by Morgan & Morgan.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. Today, we're the largest injury firm in the world, and I'm thankful to you for trusting us all these years. We'll always be here for the people, not the powerful. Injured? The choice is easy. Morgan & Morgan. Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
As veterans, we're no strangers to helping others.
It's what we were taught, trained, and told to do.
It could be for anything. Helping a friend move.
Listening to a fellow veteran for hours, at any hour of the day.
Or just simply making time for people. A neighbor, a loved one, or even a stranger.
We're often the first to help others. There's no question about it.
But we do have one question for the veterans listening.
When was the last time you reached out for help?
Perhaps it's time to do for yourself what you would do for others.
If you or someone you know needs resources, whether it's for stress, finances, employment, or mental health, don't wait. Reach out.
Find more information at va.gov/reach. That's va.gov/reach.
Brought to you by the United States Department of Veterans Affairs and the Ad Council.
Although you try not to, most of us have used an ATM out of network. And at the end, you get that notice that it's going to cost you $4 extra.
Are you kidding me?
So you're paying money to get your own money. It makes you crazy. In retirement, you're going to want to use that 401k. but every time you dip into it, you have to pay taxes. Here we go again. You have to pay money to get your own money.
Oh, come on!
Jim Cipriotti and the Retire Ready Financial Group believes that every retirement plan needs a tax plan. Without it, you're using Uncle Sam's plan. And do you really think that's going to work in your favor? Call Retire Ready Financial Group today at 610-894-7415. That's 610-894-7415 and schedule a complimentary retirement consultation. Or you can find them online at retirereadyfg.com. Investment advisory services offered through Retire Ready Wealth Management, a registered investment advisor. Insurance and annuities offered through James V. Cipriotti, Retire Ready Financial Group, LLC, NPN number 2083768.
Lexus of Cherry Hill, a 6-time J.D. Power dealer of excellence for customer service. Why would you buy your Lexus from anyone else? The 2024 Lexus models are here and moving fast, and the newly redesigned 2024 Lexus GX has arrived. Tony Labello and his team are your source for the Lexus of your dreams. Over 300 new and pre-owned vehicles in stock. You deserve a Lexus and award-winning customer service. Start your journey with family-owned and operated Lexus of Cherry Hill.
For J.D. Power dealer of excellence information, visit jdpower.com/US-DOE.
Today, everyone is trying to eat healthier and eat more fresh foods. Well, that also goes for your four-legged friends. Hi, I'm George Parenti, the lead dog at the Dogs and Cats Rule stores. If you are not aware of the new generation of fresh food diets available for your four-legged friends, then you are missing out. At Dogs and Cats Rule, we carry a wide-ranging selection of fresh foods that includes raw, gently cooked, freeze-dried, air-dried, and baked. To learn more, visit any of our 7 locations. Dogs and Cats Rule. Shop small, shop local, shop family.
Broadcasting live from the Cherry Hill Volvo Studios, where relationships matter. Talk Radio 1210, WPHT, and on the free Odyssey app.
All right, coming to your calls. Be ready on the side questions. Some title could be TV, film, or a song with a number in it. 90210. Finale was on this day in history. Well, let's go to John out there in Huntington Valley. Hey, John, good afternoon.
Hey, Don, how you doing today?
Good.
Good. Well, just kind of a bigger macro level point about the kicker and his comments and all that. And I guess what's striking me today, everything's so polarized. I'm getting tired of everybody on the left and the right. Someone can have your beliefs and enjoy them and live well by them, but we don't have to shove them down each other's throats. And his comments were just being one example.
Wait a minute. His speech being an example of what?
Well, trying to force your beliefs down someone else's throat.
But John, wait a minute. He's at a Catholic college with Catholic graduates. How's he shoving it down their throat?
Because he's offering a philosophy that if you're not a wife and mother, you're not as worth as much as someone who's a stay-at-home mom.
Okay, and wait a minute though. Is that not a pushback to? I would argue culturally, in many occasions, it's the other way around. If you are quote sitting at home, you're seen as lesser than women that are more professional.
No, totally agree. I was going to use another example of: do they really need drag queen story time? From, coming from the left, does that have to be put out there like that? I mean, look, my daughter's gay, but she doesn't get out there and proselytize and all that. It's just everyone believe in what you will and feel good about it and your faith and whatever it is, but we don't have to spoon feed it to everybody else. I mean, just believe as you will.
Well, wait a minute, John.
I would say live and let live.
Well, I agree with you on that, except, there is a battle for values here of what you think is important, and you're allowed to state them. Now, if you're taking actions that are repressing on either side, then that's different.
True. No, good point. Good point.
Thank you, John.
Yeah.
Have a nice weekend.
Sure.
Thank you. Look, I don't agree with him. And if this continues into next week, we'll go through the lines on women, but that's what they're seizing on. I'm seeing conservative columnists missing the point, saying the left is going nuts because of what he said about Biden. That's what every one of them that I see is mainly talking about the comments on women in the workplace, et cetera. They're ignoring the Biden thing. And the people that are ignoring, I don't get this. I had a conversation with somebody else in the media the other day. They really didn't understand. It wasn't here. Well, what do you want these bishops to be doing? I want the bishops when they see an opportunity like this to seize the moment and tell us how they view what he's saying. I think a lot of them would say, that's past the lines there on women in the workplace, that the Catholic Church is not teaching that. By the way, Pope Francis, I'm sure he's going to be walking this back now, different languages, just said that conservatism is suicidal. He said conservatism today is suicidal because we have to adapt and change. How did this guy ever get to be Pope? I don't mean I just disagree with his ideology. I just don't see him as brilliant enough to be Pope. I'm sure there have been a lot of popes that are not that brilliant, but his predecessor was. Whether you agree with him or not, this guy is not. Conservatism is suicidal. That's a direct quote because he says it clings to the past. Wouldn't you think someone in charge of a religion that has endured for thousands of years would get that certain things are tried and true? They work. Certain fundamental things. It's not clinging to them. We talk about this all the time. It's refreshing. It's tweaking those things, but it is not abandoning those things. We talk about it all the time with America and changes, tweaking things, but saying the fundamental principle is sound. You see this most with the transgender type of stuff. Let's go to Jerry in Pennsburg. Hey, Jerry, afternoon.
Hey, Dom. Yeah, with that last caller, something that struck out to me when he said it about live and let live is, you hear people at the performers at concerts, and they want to voice their
Right.
left-wing opinions, and they never get any flack for that. But I went there to see a concert, not hear somebody talk about their political views. And in this environment, he was invited. He's a Catholic. He's in a Catholic environment, and he says what he wants, but he gets a bunch of blowback.
Yeah, it is. And look, it was pretty pointed, pretty provocative on this, Jerry. To your point, though, how does the NFL intervene with this guy and have their office make comments, not with Kaepernick and a million other people?
Exactly. Everybody wants to disassociate themselves with somebody when it's a conservative idea. But, yeah, when it's the alphabet people, it's like, oh, we're all on board. Let's not say a word.
Yeah, and look, thank you, Jerry, very much. Dan, I can make the point that Aaron Rodgers, at least, his comments, they were in the course of the job. You could argue the virus, the vaccine, and all that. They were in the course of a league-wide rule that had to do with his job. So when he's saying stuff there and coming up with theories and whatever happened with them, it's one thing to be gone back and forth with. That's a job-related matter. It truly was. How is this a job-related matter? He has a platform as a Kansas City Chief, but to the caller's point, it's a Catholic school and the whole thing. Aaron Rodgers, you could challenge him on it. They went way too far. He's the worst guy in the world now. But yeah, it was related to what the league-wide policy was as conditions of play. All right, it is the lightning round next. Dan, wait a minute. I'm writing a column on this. Nice. This might be the lead to my column. All women's sizes of tell us what you found.
Yeah, so if you go to try to buy a Chiefs jersey, a Harrison Butker women's jersey, unfortunately, you're not going to be able to get one because they are officially all sold out, all sizes of a Butker jersey. And if you try to customize a jersey with the Butker nameplate, the only size available for women at this point is small.
Wow.
Yeah.
So what are people going to be giving these to women as gifts so that women wear them as a statement? I mean, he's a kicker. Yeah. Oh, man, the Taylor Swift people are going to strike back, though. You're not going to beat her on this.
Maybe be walking around with a Butker jersey soon.
I would not have told him to keep the Taylor Swift line in. Come on, your teammate is dating her. It's an international thing. Leave Taylor Swift out. I know the temptation. That's too much. All right, 855-839-1210. It's the lightning round next.
Living with Lyme, a condition that you may have and not even know it. John DeMasi here, host of Health Watch, Sundays at 8 and again at 4 on Talk Radio 1210 WPHT. Yes, you may be living with Lyme, even if you've had some kind of treatment. Dr. Molly Fantasia and the healthcare team at Innovative Medical Associates have dealt with this condition and have helped hundreds over the years live successfully with Lyme, mainly through the use of medical hydration. They've been able to reduce many of the symptoms associated with Lyme and allow their patients a better quality of life.
I want to get you through your initial challenge, working alongside with my physicians, and then get you to a place where we are looking at maintaining your immune system, maintaining your quality of life.
If you suspect you or someone you know has Lyme disease, visit innovativemedicalassociates.com on the web to schedule a free initial consultation or call 856-489-0505.
Splash into savings this Memorial Day with Spring Dance Hot Tubs. Soak in the relaxation and save big on new Hot Spring and Caldera Hot Tubs and save up to $4,000. Plus, when you buy a new Endless Pool Swim Spa, receive a free Aqua Bike and Exercise Kit, a $2,000 value. Looking to upgrade? Your hot tub could be worth up to $4,000. Hurry into Spring Dance Hot Tubs in Jameson, Exton, or in Plymouth Meeting in PA or in Marlton, New Jersey, and upgrade your backyard this summer. Visit us online at springdancehot.com for more details. Don't miss out on these incredible savings.
At Cherry Hill Volvo, we have absolutely incredible offers and a plethora of both new and certified Volvos from which to choose. We are eager to offer amazingly competitive prices, plus an additional $1,000 Costco discount on all new Cherry Hill Volvos. When leasing or purchasing a new or certified Cherry Hill Volvo, you become a valued part of our team. Join Cherry Hill Volvo for the pricing and attention you deserve. I am Judith Krupnick, president of Cherry Hill Volvo.
Do you have a life insurance policy of $100,000 or more that you don't need? Well, don't lapse or surrender your policy. You might be sitting on a gold mine. That's right. You may be able to sell all or part of your life insurance policy to Coventry for cash, or a combination of cash and coverage with no future premiums, even a term policy. Call Coventry Direct at 800-411-8300 or visit coventrydirect.com to find out if you're sitting on a gold mine. That's 800-411-8300. For over 25 years, we've helped thousands of people sell their policies, and we can probably help you too. Call us today at 800-411-8300 or visit coventrydirect.com to find out if you're sitting on a gold mine. That's 800-411-8300. Call now.
Diabetes, high blood pressure, anxiety meds, everyone's on them. If you're a 50-year-old male, maybe a bit porky, and you may even have type 2 diabetes, $1 million of term insurance may only cost you about $200 a month. Call Term Provider. Speak with Big Lou at 800-700-6898. Big Lou will find a term life policy for you even if you have type 2 diabetes, are overweight, or have high blood pressure. Term Provider has helped thousands of people like you who think they can't afford term life insurance. To buy $1 million of affordable term life for you, all you need to do is call Big Lou at 800-700-6898. Lou will make sure the scales are tipped in your favor. Call 800-700-6898. Big Lou will answer your call and work to fit you into a term life policy that you can afford. Remember, Big Lou's like you. He's on meds too. Call 800-700-6898, 800-700-6898, or biglou.com.
Follow Talk Radio 1210 on Instagram and Facebook at 1210 WPHT.
The time has come for the final test.
We usually call it the lightning round.
That is right. All right, 90210 kaput today, the finale. Hit us with a song, a TV show, or film that has a number in the title prominently. By the way, you're watching for this debate if it ever comes off. Hunter Biden trial will be over by then, potentially. Watch for that as a big issue. All right, let's go to Bill in Palmyra on Talk Radio 1210. Bill, what's the title?
Dom, how you doing?
Good.
I got a comment about that trial in New York, if you give me a little time.
I don't have that much, Bill.
All right, then I'll go right.
Yeah, go right to it, please.
I'll go right to my answer then. My answer for the side question is High Noon with Gary Cooper and Grace Kelly.
Yeah, big. I don't know. Grace Kelly was High Noon. Gary Cooper, of course, the classic. Lou Gall, Dan, that was one of Shane Lou Gall with Cooper, I guess. Robert in Ben Salem. Robert, what do you have today?
Hi, Dom, Dan. Good to talk to you guys today. I'm looking forward to that debate, and we'll talk about it next week. And my answer for today is 61 asterisk, because it's baseball season. The movie was good. Barry Pepper did a great job, and the movie was made by Billy Crystal just because he loved baseball, and I thought that was awesome. You guys have a great weekend,
That's
all right?
a good one. Yeah, Roger Maris. Imagine in New York, Dan, out homering when Mickey Mantle hit 54 that year. Mickey Mantle. That's not good. They didn't like that. Joe in Exton. Nobody can top this man. All right, Joe, what's yours?
Yes, hello, Don, and good Friday afternoon. My song is heard in the month of December, and is called The 12 Days of Christmas. On the 12th day of Christmas, my true love gave to me a partridge and a pear tree.
Thank you very much, Joe. Impromptu without even being prompted, Dan. Guy is rolling here on a Friday. He's getting ready for the weekend. Oh, my God. All right. This is a good one from Earl. I like this song. Earl of Tacony. Hey, Earl.
Hey, Dom. I'm going to have to go nuclear today because it's Friday. 1984, a book by George Orwell, which takes place in April, May, and June of 1984, turned into the movie 1984, the last film of Richard Burton. The film was filmed in April, May, and June of 1984. So if there's a scene in the film that says May 10th or March 10th or May 10th, it was probably filmed May 10th of 1984. Now, the Eurythmics did the soundtrack for it from their album 1984 with a song called 1984.
Absolutely. I didn't like the 1984 film, Dan, even though it's one of my favorite books of all time. Richard Burton pretty messed up as the torturer. All right. It is time to make a decision on today's side question.
Earl had a great one. 1984 spans multiple different platforms. 12 Days of Christmas, Joe's also a big answer. I like 1776, both the musical and the movie from Joe and Westchester with the tie to Philadelphia. And I'll also throw in Richard and Summerdale's 24, a series that both you and I are very fond of.
I'm going to go Temptation. I'm going to go with 24 today. I thought it was a good one. That first season was magical. Let's put them into the hat. Let's hear the winners each day.
Yeah, Dom, so Monday, we asked for a mistake made by an individual or an entity. And Dom, maybe some recency bias, but Johnny Z from Mulligan's called him with Christy Noam's dog yaff.
Yes.
Tuesday, somebody known for a distinct physical feature, Bill and Bucks won the day with Gene Simmons' tongue. Wednesday, an all-time dog, real or fictional. Susan in Chester Springs called him with a great story about Buddy, the first ever seeing eye dog. Thursday, who'd make for a horrible neighbor or a bad neighbor? Robert in Mid-Salem, Move with the Move compound. And Friday, a film, TV show, or song that features a number in the title. Richard and Summerdale pulling at some heartstrings with both me and Dom with 24. So Dom, let's throw them all into a hat. I don't have a drum roll. Oh, there it is. Number 2 for Tuesday, somebody known for a distinct physical feature, Bill and Bucks, Gene Simmons' tongue. Congratulations, $50 Wendy's gift card coming your way.
Absolutely. Another great week. If you want to suggest a side question, feel free to hit me with that. We're always looking for them. By the way, I follow Rich on Twitter and saw today that he's dedicating. He's up next, the show today, to Sid Weiss. Sid was just the epitome of Talk Radio 1210 listeners. What people don't get on the outside, yes, politics is a basic thing, but there are so many more dimensions getting to know people, the people we bring you sometimes with the side question, the characters like Joe of Exton, Robert, Earl, and others. And Sid Weiss, Dan, I remember in my photo, we're going to have to change it, didn't like the gray shirt. He was always on me about that. And he was the guy with the white shoes.
I hate to say to so many people that I love on our Twitter X platform, but I think Sid was my all-time favorite.
Oh, yes,
and
it's very good.
It's so disappointing and sad to see that he won't be tweeting us.
Yeah,
anymore.
passed away on Monday, and I believe they're having a service today at 3:30 for Sid. And Rich dedicating the show to him today. He's one of the founding members of the Zeoli Army. All right, so have a great weekend, everyone. Come back on Monday noon until 3, right here on Talk Radio 1210 WPHT.
This is Larry Steinitz with Investor Schooling. You may know me from my book, Money Hacks. You may know me from my radio shows, and you may even know me from some of these commercials. But listen, I'm teaching stuff that people need to learn.